And we're live.
And we're live.
And we're
What
live.
is going on, everybody? We are here live
Hello.
with another live stream. Hope you're all doing wonderful today. Super excited for this one. This one should be really fun. This live stream will be for pretty much of course, Q&A, so you guys can still ask questions and stuff. Super chats will be prioritized as always. But also we are going to do some personality quizzes so y'all can get to know us a little bit more, and maybe perhaps we can get to know each other a little bit more. We've got some fun ones on here, like what movie are we? What movie character or genre or director or whatever. So we've got quite a few fun things here. We also got like a more serious one, like the it's kind of like the Myers-Briggs personality test. So I'm super excited to go through this, and it will help you guys kind of get to know who we are a little bit better, which will be fun. And you guys can try to find the quizzes yourself and kind of go along with us and tell us what your results are or anything like that. Thought it would be different and unique and interesting. So I think
Yeah.
it's fun. We got a bunch of people. Jason says hi. Amir says boom. How you doing, Amir? Got some waving hands over here. A Dream says you should take a BuzzFeed quiz. I think we might have one on there.
One is a BuzzFeed quiz, yeah.
I got this idea from watching the Smosh crew do something like this, and I thought it'd be really fun because I kind of felt like I got to know them a little bit more, and I think it's always fun to know who you're watching movies with, so or reactions to movies with. So
You
yeah.
say what you think. You don't know me? I think you know me pretty well.
Brian
By now.
says, "Hey guys." Isel says, "Was good." Dark
Yep.
Sister says, "I know you guys were going to do well when you first started the channel." Oh, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
That means a lot. Yeah. So before we get into it, if anybody has any like specific questions or something, we can start with that first, and then maybe delve into the personality stuff in a little bit. Or if you guys want, we can delve in right away. I'm excited because I think this will be fun. We're gonna try to
Oh
make it
yeah,
like
it's gonna
more
be a
of like
blast.
we're gonna try to make more like of a chill live stream and have a good time tonight. Hope everyone's doing well. Uh James says, "Congrats on your success, guys. Always loved your channel." Thank you, James.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our moderator Philip says, "Whoa, what is this?"
What
Shane
up,
says,
Phil?
"Hello, so good to see you. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. Hope you are doing well and staying safe as well." A Dream says, "Where did y'all meet?" We met in summer camp in New York when we were very young. Astro says, "Hi guys." Hey Astro. Jethy says, "Hi Cam&Zay and all." Hello Jethy.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe we can ask you guys what kind of personality quiz you want to see us do first. You want to see us do something like fun or like more like serious? Yeah, just let us know in the chat what you're feeling. Jason says, "Cam, I like your haircut. Looks good. Thank you."
Looks dapper. Look at him.
You will be seeing the long hair for a little bit longer on the YouTube channel because we still have a few recordings with the long
Yes.
hair, so you're gonna have to deal with that. But what just went on Patreon, if anybody's wondering, is our reaction to Aliens, the sequel to Alien. You can check that out on Patreon right now. Early access if you want to. Amir says, "Nice hair."
I haven't been able to get a haircut, and I can't get a haircut till next week still. So I gotta wait. I'm still waiting to get a haircut.
There you go. Philip says, "Cam in a dress shirt. What is this professional twink image?"
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see if twink is the personality I get assigned.
Imagine. It comes
The
full circle.
Nikhil driver says, "Y'all are dressed like this is a job interview." Well, we are going to be assessing who we are, kind of like what you do in a job interview.
It's NyQuil. Did you say NyQuil? That's NyQuil.
Oh,
Like
NyQuil, the NyQuil
Oh,
driver.
get him out of here.
Can says, "What are the next coming movie themes we should be expecting?" Well, after The World's End, which it will be coming out on YouTube next, you will be getting Fargo, and then after Fargo, we are gonna be getting into a bunch of sequels. So we've already recorded our reactions to Aliens. Our editor has Rush Hour 2 right now that he's working on. We did Rambo 2, Hot Shots Part 2, Next, I think we're going to get into 2010, the year we make contact. Then we'll get into maybe Doctor Sleep or something. Not entirely sure yet, but we do got some sequels lined up for
And
every
I
movie.
I don't I don't want them to get nervous. Don't worry. There's going to be bad puns in every single one because
Oh yeah,
and I know how much you all love our bad puns. We see
yeah.
it in the comments. You guys really support it.
When you guys love them, we smile. When you hate them, we smile more.
Because we know we say to each other after, we're like, that one's good. That was bad.
Yeah, we go like,
that
that's
was
pretty
bad.
brutal. Okay, all right. Well, hey, look, I guess we'll just get into one of the fun, we'll get to one of the fun quizzes here. Let's do which movie are you? Right? Just start off right off the bat.
Which movie are we? Let's see.
All right, yeah. I sent you this, so you should have it.
Yeah.
It's only 8 questions.
Are you just doing it on your phone or are you just gonna do it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it on my phone.
Which movie are you? Okay. The Beano one?
Yep. You guys can check this out on Beano. What movie are you? You guys can go along with us. First question. What's your favorite time of day? Zay, what's your favorite time of day? What day?
Definitely not morning. I hate waking up in the morning. I mean,
No?
once I'm up, I'm up. Man, probably the evening. I do everything in the evening. Oh, God. Yeah, I'll do afternoon. I mean, I'll take afternoon.
Am definitely a night bird.
And that's because he's a vampire.
Is that how
he can't go out in the
I
sunlight.
am not a vampire. I am a
Vampire say what?
half-blood. Huh?
Close. You skirted by.
Okay, sure. I'll go evening. Next question. This is a weird one. How do you eat a Kit Kat?
I swear, if you say I nibble all the outside chocolate off and then eat the wafer, I'm sending the police to your house.
I'm pretty
You
traditional.
break it off
Kit
each
Kat.
each stick, right? That's what I do. I break off
Night
each stick.
owl. They're telling me night owl.
Night owl.
That's
Oh, you
right.
said
I
night
was
bird.
right.
Oh,
I said
yeah.
bird, so
It's not wrong.
I am a night owl. Who said that I did? Okay. Yeah, you break off each stick and eat them one at a time, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too. That's the only way to eat a Kit Kat. If any of you are doing it differently, you need to stop buying Kit Kats.
Yeah.
A lot of people are suggesting Schindler's List. So I've seen it. Zay hasn't.
I have not. Yeah.
We will definitely check that out at some point. Next question. Would you rather live in a black and white like an old movie or have to hold signs with words instead of speaking?
That's actually tough, kind of.
I know the answer to this for me. Zay, what would you?
Why don't you go first? I'm kind of thinking. And I'll explain where my head's at after.
I would rather have to hold signs with words instead of speaking because I love color.
Yeah.
And I can't live a life without color, but I can always get like a Stephen Hawking chair or something that allows me to talk. So, or like just hold signs, I guess.
It would just piss me off if I had to hold signs.
I wonder what I could get away with if I'm holding a sign, Like, I wonder what I could just say, but not say.
That's crazy. Well,
it could be anything.
Yeah, it's like, man, being in a black and white world would be so dull because colors are. I mean, like, look, my background is all lit up with colors.
Right.
It would just be black and white flashing. I guess I'd hold signs up. But man, if I had to like rant at somebody, that would be a nightmare. You really got to write out like a whole essay.
Okay.
I like writing though, so I guess it works out.
So, what's your favorite way to spend your pocket money? Sweets, the cinema, on days out, or I don't spend it. I save it and hoard it in a big pile and sit on it like a dragon. So they're asking if you're smog or not.
I'm days out 100%. I spend way too much money probably out on food and such.
Well, since they're saying pocket money, and I do have a sweet tooth, and I do find myself like going to the gas station a lot and being like picking up a Snickers or something. So I think I'd be lying if I didn't say sweets.
Like, what reaction was it where we sat down and you had like 4 different things of candy? You're like, guess what candy I have?
That was just Jaws, I think.
And
I got a lot of comments that were like, don't eat while you're watching a fucking movie.
We're like, right, never mind, sorry.
All right,
Never again.
So I'll do sweets. Okay.
Alright, sweet, it's alright.
What kind of videos do you watch on TikTok? Tap as many as you want, then submit.
Oh,
Well, for me, I watch videos on Shorts. I don't really do TikTok all that much. I
okay.
watch YouTube Shorts. Shane says Dune 2021. Yeah, I've seen Dune. Zay hasn't,
I've
but
never seen Dune.
we'll probably get into Dune closer to when the sequel releases, just to kind of like ride that hype train a little bit. All right.
Are
So
you going with none of these? I don't use TikTok?
no,
Is that
I'm
what
just
you're
gonna
gonna say?
answer as if it was Shorts.
Okay.
Um, I like that watching animals and pets on YouTube Shorts.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, I like to watch. I don't know what challenges mean. Funny videos, sure.
Challenge like you ever heard of the crate challenge where people had like those egg
Oh
crates and they were trying to get
lord,
up?
yeah, no, I don't like that. Um, I guess gaming stuff I kind of like to watch on um YouTube Shorts. Okay.
I would say I hate that dances and music are lumped together because I like watching like music, like people like previewing
Oh,
music and
dude, these are
stuff
totally
like that.
random sponsored questions. They have nothing to do with the quiz. So we're just gonna move
What?
on to the next question.
Oh, you see how slick they were with it too? They were
Yeah,
about to
they
get
were
all
real slick.
yo, that algorithm was gonna get just shaken up.
About
There
to
it
send
is,
money to a
baby.
Nigerian prince a second.
All right.
So
So
what's your favorite film genre? Comedy,
ooh,
adventure, superhero, or spooky? I have to put
dude.
superhero because I'm a big Marvel fan. I'd be
Dude,
lying if I didn't put
so
superhero.
tough because comedy, superhero, and spooky are like the main genres that I watch if I am watching something. Tina and I watch
Okay.
horror movies every weekend pretty much. But I don't but epic superhero stuff is like so crazy. And then there's some good comedy, but I haven't seen a lot of good comedy movies in a long time. Except for like the older ones I react to, but I'm saying more modern. I feel like they're far. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'll go comedy. I'll go comedy.
Okay. What's your dream holiday destination?
I know the answer for you.
So I know the answer for you.
You're gonna say, "Can I stay home and play video games?"
That's your fucking answer.
That's low key, like nowadays, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say the tropical beaches of the Caribbean. That's definitely my answer. I'm a
If they
beach guy.
had, if they had, if it was like the mountains and like in the landscape of Japan, I would pick that. But I would
I mean,
say
you could
I
say
like,
the mountains and fjords of
yeah,
Norway.
yeah. I mean, it's like not the same, but kind of. It's like
Close.
I do like a place like that where it's like very natural, a lot of good views and everything. I could, but man, a beach is a great time. The beaches are a fantastic time. Actually, my best vacations are when I'm out. Yeah, I'm going to beach.
Okay.
I'm thinking the cruises. I'm thinking like I've been to Cancun, like that. Those are the best times sitting on the
Now
beach.
I'm actually really curious to see how you answer this next one. Um, what's the best type of cheese, Isaiah? Cheddar? Mozzarella?
Probably, yeah, not
String?
string cheese. Screw that.
Well, hold
I
on.
don't like
String
string. I
cheese?
don't like string cheese.
Yeah, but it's fun to eat.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, it's like, sure. I don't hate cheese. That's the last question. I don't. I'm not a huge fan of string cheese. I'd probably go cheddar. I think I use cheddar more than I use. It's so versatile. You know.
I think mozzarella tastes better, but I think cheddar is a better cheese because of, like you said, its versatility.
But what's your favorite cheese
Doesn't say
outside of
that. It
this
says what's
question?
the best
Outside, no,
type.
but
Oh.
outside of this question, what's your favorite cheese?
Oh man, pepper jack is up there. I'm a pepper
Mm,
jack guy.
I'm a Gouda guy. I'm a big Gouda guy.
Oh, Gouda's
Gouda.
fantastic.
Mm.
It's rich. Mm.
Just turn this into a mukbang. Just go.
Yeah, seriously, you just start eating. All right, I'll go cheddar. Last question. Who's the best movie character out of these four? Lego Joker, Jack Skellington, Simba, or Olaf? For me,
Dude,
I gotta say Simba. I mean,
yeah, but Olaf's top tier.
oh my gosh.
Olaf's hilarious. I'd have to go Simba. Lego Joker's a weird one. Like that would kind of came out of left field. Tina might kill me for not saying Jack Skellington, but I'd go
Bro,
Simba.
the fucking movie that I got is
Yeah.
not even I've never even seen this movie.
What is
What
it? What's yours?
wait, wait,
You
wait,
want
wait, 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 wait. Why don't we just try to guess real quick? What
You want
is yours, live action or animated?
animated?
What if we got the same fucking movie?
There's no shot.
Is yours a
Is
sequel?
it's like
Like it's not the first.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think we got the same fucking movie.
Say it on the count of three.
All right.
One,
3, 2, 1.
2, 1.
Toy
Toy
Story
Story 4.
4. Yeah,
What?
why do
How?
I feel like this quiz is just gonna say Toy Story 4 for everybody?
I want to retake this quiz and answer everything different. See if I get Toy Story
Toy
4.
Story 4 again? What the heck is that?
You value your friends and family are always there in a crisis. I can listen now. I try to be there in a crisis, but
I am not
sometimes I'm
always
hard to
there in a
reach.
crisis.
That's what I'm saying. I
I'll
don't
say it right now. You got a
a lot.
hurricane coming your way, Zay? Good luck. Okay.
Let's call a spade here.
I trust in your ability to survive. I don't need to come help you.
Exactly. I think actually it's rude if I'm there in every crisis because that means I don't believe that you are able to overcome whatever obstacles you're facing.
Ooh, someone said blueberry goat cheese. That sounds
That
delicious.
sounds insane. What would you even put that on?
Ooh,
What do
put
you
that on
eat?
chicken. You would eat that on chicken.
Blueberry goat cheese chicken?
Jathy
That
got
sounds
How to Train Your Dragon, you lucky. That's so much better.
that's a way better one. I don't know. I've never seen Toy Story 4.
Me neither. Oh, a dream says, I guess Toy Story 2. Nice.
Phil, Zay always answers this text. What do you get? What are you talking about? Yeah, I do. I'm so good at it too.
Someone recommended Heavy Metal, 1981. We'll have to check that
I feel
out.
like I think I have that on the list actually.
Okay. Nice.
Interesting. Toy Story
Should
4.
we do like a more like serious, like the 16 personality, like INFJ, like we see if we're extroverted or introverted, like
Oh
that kind of
yeah, I'm
stuff?
down.
You're
I'm
down for
down.
that? Okay. So we're gonna seriously
Sa-
get to know each other.
Sandy Seuss, if you want to pull up that comment, asked about any Black History Month movies and mentioned The Color Purple, which is a movie we've had on our list for a very long time that I think we do want to get into at some point.
So the answer to this question is yes and no. The answer is we're more than open to getting to Black History Month movies or just Black History movies at any point in time. But what we've noticed recently with our channel being kind of as small as it is, we tend to be drowned out by thematic choices. So when we do October movies in October, we tend to not get too many views because everybody else is also doing October movies. So, and same thing with Christmas movies in December and stuff. So right now the plan is to like go like we're still down for Christmas movies and October movies and Black History movies, but we don't want to do them on the month that like they're being like done by everybody else in because it isn't as optimal for us. But I want to get into Color Purple because I haven't seen that. I believe you and I have seen The Patriot. Have we seen The Patriot? Oh no,
I think
it was a different one that we saw.
yeah, because we thought we were like, did we see this? And then I think we looked at the casting and everything. Like, yes, we've seen this.
Yeah, but so that's the plan.
Yeah. So, and plus, we don't want to bombard you guys, like during those months, like just horror movie, like during October, Christmas, try to give you guys a little bit of a mix up. Cause again, like Cam said, everybody that's reacting is doing all those movies. So your inbox is flooded with them, but we're still going to make sure that we touch on all of those genres and such.
There you go. And TLJ says, hey guys, glad to see another live stream from you. Glad to see you too. Philip says, did y'all see Grandma's Boy before? I've never heard of that.
I don't think I've ever heard of that. Grandma's Boy?
Aster says, hey fellas, love the laughter. Rocky Horror was amazing. Have you done Grandma Boy? People are saying Grandma's Boy. No, I haven't seen it.
Grandma's Boy has Alan Covert, Peter Dante, Nick Swardson, Linda Cardellini, Joel David Moore, Jonah Hill, Doris Roberts, Kevin Nealon. Oh, Rob Schneider, David Spade. Oh, okay.
Okay, nice. Harley says The Boys. I've seen The Boys. Zay is not.
I have not.
We might get into that at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm finally getting the Pacific episodes edited now. So excited to get those out at some point soon here.
Long awaited. I know people probably thought we were never going to finish. We were never going to post them, but trust me.
Yeah. Tariq says, yo, Tariq. Jason says,
what up, Tariq?
Birdcage. We do have that recorded. We're going to make it probably a Patreon exclusive full length.
That's why I thought Jason had
Yeah.
asked in my one stream about Birdcage, and I was like, I remembered us recording it, but I'm like, I don't know if we decided it was Patreon exclusive or what was going to go on with it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get
Okay.
into this. It's the last one I sent you. So this one kind of goes from agree to disagree, and there's a
Okay.
scale of like 3 means the highest agree, and it means the
Okay.
highest disagree, and then there's middle. So we'll just say like 1 agree or 2 agree or 3 agree.
Okay. It's
Okay.
gonna get deep here. It's gonna be interesting. It's the last one you said?
Yeah, free personality test, it says. So you guys can check this out on 16personalities.com. Oh, and Stan asked me what movie palette this is. This is Avatar, my favorite movie.
Mhm.
Tristan says, "What are your guys' favorite video game?" Baldur's Gate 3 is taking the top spot for me.
I'm a very big FPS person, so I grew up on Call of Duty, games like that. However, I did see a game, Cameron, that maybe you'd want to try with me. It's called Helldivers 2. It looks insane. To make a long story short, it's an FPS game. It's like there's constant missions, but it's like always going on. Like the battle's always going on. And it's the players that are going against the devs. Like the devs will go into people's streams because they control what monsters spawn in certain areas and stuff. They will go into streamers' streams and it'll just like instant spawn like a bunch of like monsters on like these stream. Yeah, to mess with them and stuff. It's insane. Well, I'll have to show you some clips of it. It's nuts.
Yeah, that I'm hyped for that.
It
That sounds
blew
like
up.
really fun.
Their servers couldn't handle how many people came on. They didn't expect that many people. So it's like they're working on it, but it's a very good game apparently.
Stacy says, "Where can I get the Twitch link for Zay?" It's in the description of any of our reaction videos. You guys can check that out. Just click on
And I'll
one, go to the
drop it.
description. Oh, and
I'll drop it
Zay
for
will
you
drop
guys.
it in the chat for y'all as well. Flower says, "Natural Born Killers, Thelma and Louise, Soul, American History X. If you haven't seen it, definitely Schindler's List. I think we got all those on the list." Philip has dropped the link.
Yeah.
Stan says, "I'd like to see you guys do a reaction video to Martyrs if you haven't already." Okay. Shane says Jurassic Park. Well, I think we both have seen Jurassic Park, right?
Yes. If you're talking about the first one, right? Just the first. You're just talking about the first
like
one.
The original.
Yeah, the first one, and I saw like.
Oh, your voice cut out. Oops. We both have seen the original, but Mr. Jetsu, is it me or is Zay getting smaller or is his hair getting bigger? His hair's getting bigger. He's gonna work on that. Nope, nothing yet. But we both have seen the original Jurassic Park, but potentially we can talk to our girlfriends, see if they've seen it. Oh, he's back.
All right, that was weird.
Okay. All right, time to get to know us a little bit better. Okay, you ready for this one? We're gonna. I don't think I've ever taken a test like this. I don't know for sure, but I'm excited to see.
Yeah, it's
what
gonna be interesting.
we get. Okay, so let's start with the first question. You regularly make new friends. So if I were to answer this in high school or college, or if I were to answer this like in the past, I'd probably agree with it. But right now, I don't regularly make new friends. I'm really happy with my current circle. I'm really happy with, who I've come and built relationships with. So I'm gonna say if there's slightly disagree and then there's disagree and then there's strongly disagree. That's kind of what we'll go on there.
Right,
So I'll say that I like. If the answer is if it's you regularly make new friends, I'm just gonna go with disagree. I wouldn't strongly disagree with it because there's always that opportunity I could.
And I think regularly is like a weird word because it feels like that means like consistently, like you're regularly making new friends. I'd say agree, I guess, because at my job I've been making more and more acquaintances and such. So I'd go with agree.
Okay. You spend a lot of your free time exploring various topics that catch your interest. I'm gonna go strongly agree. I always
Yeah, you
find
do.
myself looking stuff up and researching it, even if I've never heard it before. Anything that like comes to my mind that catches my interest, I want to know about it. So I'm gonna say strongly agree.
I'm gonna go slightly agree because I always have the intent to, but I don't always find myself doing it. I usually don't get super, super deep into it. I don't have either I get distracted because my mind's always thinking about 30 different things. So I'll just slightly agree with that though.
Okay. Seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Maybe just slightly agree because I have been triggered before by seeing someone tear up,
Mhm,
but it's not something that always triggers me, and I have to also like really be like emotional in the moment to like
mhm.
also tear up. But it I have crying seeing other people cry, so I'm gonna slightly agree.
I'm gonna I'm gonna disagree. Not
Okay,
strongly, but I am gonna disagree.
disagree.
I
Doesn't do
don't.
it for
Yeah.
you.
No.
You say, "Fuck you, Trump." That's what you that's what goes on in your head.
Womp womp. Grow up.
Womp.
No, I'm just nah. I definitely would go disagree. I don't find myself that usually happening. There's been occasions, but it's very unlikely.
Okay, Stacy. Zay seems more empathetic to me. Did you not just listen to the last 30 seconds?
Jedi
Stan
mind trick.
says
You know nothing. You forget everything you said.
Stan says, "Do you guys know each other in real life or just online?" No, we know each other in real life.
Yeah.
Um, next question, you often make a backup plan for a backup plan. I strongly agree. I'm always like worst case scenario. Like and I'm like if that fails, what's even worse case scenario? So I strongly agree with that.
Oh wait, yours are different than mine. Well, we had the same one. Now mine's you feel uncomfortable if a task is left half done.
That's what yours says?
Yeah. But I had
S
all the other ones you had, which is
uh,
interesting.
okay, so what's the question and answer it again?
Mine is you feel uncomfortable if a task is left half done, and I agree. I don't like letting stuff be half done. It drives me nuts.
I would probably disagree because I'm like I have really bad attention deficit disorder. So I'm just like I wouldn't I'm not saying I have ADHD, ADD or whatever. I'm just saying I have really bad attention deficit issues. So I would like I'll like do something and then be like, but on the other hand, I get really focused and don't want to. It depends on what I'm doing.
It
Like
does.
if I'm doing like if I'm editing a video, I want to do it from start to finish. I don't like stopping.
Yeah.
But if I'm doing something else that I'm just if I'm not like really interested in it, I get distracted and I don't care about letting it go. So,
Yeah, I can see that with you. I can definitely see that with you.
hey, Dream says this quiz is so telling. Yeah, I mean, this is something fun for you guys to get to know us a little bit more. I think
I don't
it'll
know if it's a
enhance
good thing how telling it is.
well,
Might
I
be.
think it'll enhance the viewing experience of getting because they get to know like kind of more about our inner psyche when they're watching us, things that we might say might make more sense and stuff.
Mhm.
Flower says, "Do you guys have pets?" Yeah, I have a golden doodle and a macaw, and Zay has a little cute opal.
Little Jack no, Owen.
Oh,
I have a Jack
Owen.
Russell Chihuahua mix named Owen. He's a wiry little man. He's cute. He looks like an old geezer though.
I love him. Um,
I love him. Yeah, he's a good boy.
next question or next statement that we have to agree or disagree with. For me, it says you usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure.
That's what mine is. So I guess for some reason they tried to weave my I don't know why I didn't get to answer one question you had, but okay.
Okay, so you usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure. I'm gonna say slightly agree, and I'll tell you why. I
Okay.
actually
Let's see.
am really neurotic and not calm when I
Yeah.
have a little bit of pressure. When I have a lot of pressure, I focus. Like, I'm like, "Okay, a lot is riding on this."
Locks
But if
in.
it's, like, a little bit of pressure, I'm like, "Ugh." So, I'm just gonna write slightly agree because I don't usually stay calm. It says you usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure. I slightly agree because I do stay calm under pressure, but I don't usually stay
Mhm.
calm if it's, like, a little bit of pressure.
I am just gonna not strongly disagree. I am gonna disagree. Well, I'll slightly disagree because honestly, I was playing a horror game with Tina 2 weekends ago, and all I had to do, there was something chasing me. All I do was pull a lever, and I missed pulling the lever 3 times, and I died. And so then, so I realized I'm not the best under pressure. So I'm gonna slightly disagree on that.
Okay. Stacy says, I like when you guys do things like this. I think they're fun, like when you guys have your girlfriends on. Oh, thank you, Stacy.
Thank you.
Yeah, we love doing stuff like this too. You know, we are a reaction channel, but we also have our personalities that we want to offer. So
Mhm.
we have fun doing this stuff. Um, Cole says, hello, Cam&Zay. Name's Cole Gensch. Great to see you guys. Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Um,
Welcome.
all right, next thing. At social events, you tend to stick with people you know rather than introducing yourself to new people.
Mm. Mine is, you prefer having a few close friends to a wide circle of acquaintances, which I would say I agree with 100%. Yeah.
Okay. Are you strongly agreeing or just agreeing?
Um, yeah, I'm strongly agreeing. I'd rather have a close-knit circle than, like, a bunch of, acquaintances or, like, they're expendable.
Okay. So for me, at social events, you tend to stick with people you know rather than introducing yourself to new people. I will slightly disagree with that because while I do like being around people that I know, I think
Mm,
it's really fun to like talk to new people and get to understand them too. But I'm
mhm.
also like I like it more when I'm having when I'm also with somebody I know, you know? Like if we went to
Right.
like a party I and there's someone I don't know, but you know them, I would rather you introduce us than me kind of introduce myself.
I would agree with that too. Yeah, I
So
feel it's weird when that happens.
so I feel like I would put slightly disagree because
Okay.
yeah, that's where I would put. We got a $1 smackaroonie from Tariq the gamer. He doesn't have anything to say. He just wants to donate $1. Thank you
Shout out
so
to Reek.
much. Shout out to you, Tariq. Thanks for coming in here and just sending us $1. We'll take it. Thank you. All right. So then we hit next. We go up to the
Okay.
next questions.
Just real quick, a star. Did you grow up with each other? I'm assuming in or in school. We did go to high school together. And then I saw, do you ever go to comic or sci-fi conventions from Harley? Cam has been to Comic Con a few times, right?
I have been to a Comic-Con in Poughkeepsie, and I've been to
Yeah.
a SuperCon in Miami.
I've never been to anything like that. I would love to go to like some conventions like that.
They're really
Actually,
fun.
I want to go to TwitchCon. We'll see. Might go to TwitchCon this year. We'll see, which is in
Speaking of
September.
comic books, I don't wanna talk crap about anybody, but I
Oh,
am gonna mention something. I'm not gonna say any names or anything like
okay.
that, but I had
Spill the
some
tea.
old comic books that I was just going to turn in and see how much I could get for. So I go to
Mhm.
the comic book store,
Okay.
and I'm turning in my old comics, and I talking to this guy.
Uh-huh.
And if you're out there, listen, I respect that art is subjective.
Mhm.
So that's that. Um, but it was an interesting conversation with him. I said, "Are you excited for
Mhm.
the Deadpool movie? Because the trailer looks really great." He's like, "No, don't want to see it.
Oh,
Don't care. Don't like it." And I was like,
really?
"Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't, not this modern stuff." He's like, "Batman versus Superman. That was a great movie." And that was controversial. So I'm like, "Oh, okay." I mean, he did mention the extended edition. And then I wanted to like kind of like throw a little bit of um throw a little sugar packet in the water and see if it dissolves. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, "What do you think about Madam Web?" He's like, "Loved it. Great movie." And I
Ah.
was like, "Oh, okay." See, for me, and look, art is subjective. There might be people out there that have the same opinions, but for me, I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." See, I like more of like the Marvel stuff, and like I'm really into like movies and stuff. And then he says, "Oh yeah, I graduated college with a degree in film and artistry." I said, "Wow."
Mm.
So Madam Web. That's what I was thinking. Just not to talk again, art is subjective. It's just it surprised me what he liked and disliked.
Well, do I
Um,
have a film for him to watch? Velocipaster. You ask him what his opinion is on Sharknado.
Philip
That's
says, "Who the
interesting.
heck says that? Throw a sugar packet in water and see if it dissolves." I
He's
do. I
making
just
up
did.
he's just making up stuff. He's trying.
Um, Brendan says, "What's going on, Brendan?" Nah, if he goes
What up,
Batman vs
Brendan?
Super over any of this new shit. Yeah, I know. Hey, look,
Uh,
everybody's again, art is subjective. That's what's important to um mention. Okay, next question.
oh, yes, yes, yes.
Mine says you prefer to completely finish one project before starting another.
I feel like yeah, you do, right?
This depends. This solely depends on if I'm interested or not interested. If I'm not
Okay.
interested, I don't care. But if I am interested, I would like if it's like if you're not interested, I would just disagree. If it says if you're
Okay.
interested, I would say I strongly agree because I won't like if I'm playing Baldur's Gate, I'm going through the whole campaign. I don't care if I
Right.
want to start a new one. I'm going through the whole thing. If I do a
Mhm.
video, I'm gonna edit the whole thing. Like
Right. Yeah.
that's how I am with things I'm interested in. But if I'm not interested, like if I start a game and I'm like, yeah, it's whatever. Maybe I want to try it differently, and I'll start over. I don't care. So, what do you
Okay.
think I should put there?
I think it's kind of like I think it fits. Like agree, maybe not strongly agree.
I'll put slightly because the statement is you prefer to
Oh, you
completely finish
prefer?
one. So even though I don't sometimes, I do prefer to do that.
Yeah.
So
So
I'll just
yeah.
slightly
Okay.
agree.
All right. Mine is you enjoy setting specific and measurable goals for yourself. Now, I'm probably gonna put slightly agree here because I do enjoy setting specific and measurable. Actually, no, I put agree because I do like setting goals and stuff for myself. Now, whether or not I follow through and achieve those goals, that's not what the question asks. So therefore, we don't have to delve into that side. But I would say, yeah, I think being able to set goals because I think it's a good way. It's a good way to measure progress and see, when you achieve a goal, it's like a whew. I think biggest thing was like the YouTube channel, like us setting goals together for our growth and everything. So I'll put agree on that.
Stacy says, "Wait, are you playing BG3 Cam?" Yes, I've played like 4 campaigns so far. I absolutely love the game. Um, or maybe it was 3. I think I played 3 so far, and I'm on my 4th. But yeah, absolutely love
Yeah.
it. Okay, my next one says, "You are very sentimental." I'm gonna slightly disagree with this because there are
Really?
things where I like find myself like, "Oh, I don't want to get rid of that." But at the end of the day, I will. And at the end of the day, a lot of things lose meaning for me if it's not like if it's about living things, I'm very sentimental. But if it's
Mhm.
like my bird, my dog, stuff like that. But if it's like an object, like
Mhm.
something super special or something, I tend to lose it tends to just lose that sentimentality to me. Like there will be a point in time where I'm like, I don't need this anymore. I don't like so I'm gonna slightly disagree with that because I genuinely or generally don't attach to inanimate things as much. There are moments, but I would say I slightly disagree that I'm sentimental, especially because you are very sentimental.
Yeah, very sentimental. Ugh, it's tough. I almost wanna put dead in the middle because it's like, I am I guess no, I'll put slightly agree because I think I lean towards more, being sentimental with things more often, especially with things I'm like, "I just get rid of it." And it's like, "Nah, but insert whatever memory I might have." So, oddly enough obviously, when it comes to pets and, like, living people, it's a that's a lot different, like, very
Right.
sentimental in that sense.
Okay. This will be an interesting one. Yeah, I wonder if it's the same thing I have. You like to use organizing tools like
Mm.
schedules and lists.
Strongly agree
I'm
because
gonna go
my
with
work life would be chaos without it.
I'm gonna go with disagree. Not strongly disagree, but disagree. I'm not an organized person. I don't use organizing tools and schedules. But if something is highly important, like if we have to do like we did with our taxes and stuff, I need to have that
Mm,
down in a
yeah.
list or certain things I need to write down if it's extremely important. But if it's not like of the utmost important, you're not gonna see me organizing anything. So I'm gonna
Alright.
go with disagree.
Fair enough. Alright, fair enough.
Thomas says, "You guys are my favorite YouTube channel." Oh, thank you, Thomas.
Thank you.
Means a lot.
I see that there at the bottom. Thank you,
Yep.
Thomas.
Glad you enjoy. All right, next question. I don't even know why I'm saying question. Next, like prompt. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. I'm gonna agree with that. I'm not good at I I don't wanna say I'm a perfectionist, but
Yeah.
I don't like making mistakes, and when I do,
Mhm.
I reflect pretty hard on those mistakes, even if they're small. So I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
agree.
I'm gonna go with
Or
slightly agree
I'm gonna go with
for mine.
slightly agree too. I'm gonna go
Because
slightly
again,
agree.
it's not often. It's not like it happens often, but there are times where I'm like, "Holy, like, how the hell did you mess this up? Like, how do you miss something like that?" And it can just you can just hamper on it, even though it could be something, like, completely understandable, for a mistake. So I would definitely slightly agree on that.
Yeah, like, one of the things that I'm one of the things, like, when I edit, I try to do
Mhm.
my best to, like or, like, when I'm reviewing an edit, I try my best to make sure there's, like, no nudity in there, and you know
Mhm.
this, like, I'll sometimes I'll
Yeah.
go frame by frame just because I
Yeah.
don't want there to be any issues, and if I found myself making a mistake and seeing that there was, like, a frame of nudity or something in our reaction, I would, like, really be like, "What if it's in all the other video?" You know, like, I would doubt
Right.
everything I
Yeah,
had done
well,
up to that
we
point.
had that conversation where you literally were like, "Dude," because now it's like, well, what if it's and if you
Yeah.
ever wonder why in, like, a full length or something, you see it say, like, like, what's involved in the movie, and Cameron cheers because it doesn't say nudity, and he's like, "Yes." He's like,
Yeah.
I don't have to scan through the whole thing."
Yeah. I love when a movie doesn't have nudity because it's just, like, perfect. Um, okay, next prompt. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation.
Strongly disagree. No.
No?
I will absolutely dude, you could be the Dos Equis guy, the most interesting man in the world, and I will be like, I will watch you from afar. At well, not like that, not creepily, but, like, you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Would you strike up you I feel like you're kind of out I mean, you struck up a conversation with me, I'm not that interesting, you just walked
Here's
up
the
to
thing,
me.
when I'm interested in something, I don't care about anything else. So, if I find someone interesting, I don't think I have an issue striking up a conversation with them. But I
I
wouldn't
mean,
be like I think I'd say slightly agree because I wouldn't be, like, comfortable, you know? But I would be
yeah,
interested and I'd be okay with whatever risk it came with. So, I would say, like, slightly agree.
yeah, I don't do that.
Alright. Do you have you are not too interested in discussions
Yeah,
about various interpretations of creative works? Well, we have to disagree with that, right?
yeah, completely
'Cause
disagree
this
because we
so
do
let's
it.
yeah, let's read this one more time in case anybody wonders what I just said. Um, you are not too interested in discussions about various interpretations of creative works. I'm gonna strongly disagree because 'cause I'm
Yeah, it
very
has to
interested in that kinda stuff.
Yeah, we even go back and forth on stuff offline if we see something and we talk about how we interpret it, even whether it's a movie or whatever the case is. So, I think it'd be
Yeah.
weird.
Alright, we got a $5 super chat from Drop Barracuda, as just in case
Barracuda.
anybody knows, we will always, do our best to get right to those. Drop Barracuda says, "Okay, one more. Choose 2 characters from any movie that would have the most awkward on-screen kiss."
That's
Oh, we
crazy.
didn't even get his first one. Alright, we'll get the first one, then we'll do that one. So thank you for both super chats, Drop. I guess we missed that first one.
Sorry, drop.
Drop says, "What's up, guys? Just want to throw one at y'all. Which movie villain do you think would make the best reality TV show host?"
Movie villain would make the best or would make very interesting. Cause like, could you imagine Thanos hosting it and you incorrectly
Oh my god, you get
like it's
dusted?
Jeopardy.
Uh,
It's like you have to answer the form of a question and the guy doesn't do it and he goes, "Fine."
I'll do it
Just
myself.
just done. Everyone's like,
Oh, man. Um, would it be too grim for me to say fucking Joaquin Phoenix from The Joker because he did a really bad thing to a reality TV show host?
I mean,
No, I wouldn't say that. Um, what villain would make the best what villain is, like, really, a
Riddler would be good on some
performer?
stuff.
Riddler would
Riddler
be
would be good,
fun.
like, with fun.
What other one is I'm thinking like a Disney one, like that likes to
Oh, a
sing or
Disney villain, like some
something.
of that what about
Yeah.
you think Gru from Despicable Me?
No,
I
Gru would
don't
be terrible. "What is going on?" Like,
Yeah. Oh my
um,
gosh. Um,
hmm,
a Disney villain? Oh, man. What about,
I think, Gaston would be interesting.
Gaston?
Yeah.
Phil
for
said
Beauty.
Jafar from Aladdin would be an interesting one too.
Yeah, that
Jafar
would
would
be
be
interesting.
hilarious.
But anytime you were, like, talking back to him, his bird would be like, "What?" Ugh. Let me do a
Oh, lordy.
Gaston.
Alright, fair enough.
Okay. And Drop also says, "Okay, one more. Choose 2 characters from any movie that have the most awkward on-screen kiss." 2 characters from any movie that would have the most awkward
That's
on-screen
tough.
kiss. Okay. No, I think this might be easy. Um, so 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 Jonah Hill from 21 Jump Street, but while he is still in high school.
Okay.
So, like, the awkward version of him,
Okay.
and, um who the next question is, like, who else is awkward? Oh, and then Brick from Anchorman. Those 2.
Wow, that's a good wow, Brick is a really good one. Man, sheesh. Oh my gosh, what about, oh, you know what popped in my head first, even though it's not a person technically? Rocket Raccoon.
That counts.
Rocket Raccoon. And, dude, I don't know. This is tough because 'cause I'm trying to think now, like, awkward characters in movies. Something makes me jump to Step Brothers, one of the Step Brothers. I just don't know which one.
Oh, yeah. Probably
Like,
Will, right?
yeah, I feel
Brennan?
like Rocket which would be freaking insane to see. I don't even know how that would come about, but if it did, that'd be nuts. Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah, that's wild. Alright, well, hey, thank you, Drop Barracuda. Those are fun questions,
Yeah,
and,
drop.
thank you for the $5 super chat. Okay. Next up, we have GeForce Racing 20 with a $10 smackaroonie. Thank you so much,
Shout out
GeForce.
G-Force.
You didn't even
That's a
you
family friend, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's, one of my
Wow.
stepdad's friends. Shout out G-Force.
Wow,
Much love.
thank you. Well, thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming in. It really means a lot because he could have said anything, and he just said, "Hi. Hi, Zay and
Hey, he's the
Cam."
homie.
Yeah. Alright, well, thank you, GeForce. Shout out to you. Shout out to, Keith, and shout out to, um, the $10 super chat. Thank you a lot. Okay, Edward Hanna with a 9.99 uppercut to the jaw. Edward says, "Do you care about the Oscars? And if so, will you watch and react in real time?" Well, that could be fun. When are the Oscars?
I can look it up. I'm not I don't I wouldn't say I care like I sit there like, "Oh, I can't wait to watch the Oscars." I'd watch them though,
I
but I
cared
feel
about
like
the one when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock.
keep my wife's it's
Name.
Sunday, March 10th from 7 to 10.
Yeah, that could be
So,
fun.
that'd be fun. That'd be a fun one to do, live.
I'm not heavily invested, but it's something that I think if you guys are interested in, we could react to it live. That would be fun.
It'd be interesting to see, yeah, what movies get, like, nominated and stuff too, if there's anything that we see by then that maybe
Yeah.
goes up there if it's super modern, but, yeah, I'm not huge on the award show type stuff just because it's, like, there's a lot of politics and stuff that goes to that.
Mm. Okay. Thank you, Edward. Means a lot. Joey with a $5 chickadee chockadee chookadee chang says, "Y'all are my favorite because the humor is so up my alley. It doesn't feel like I'm watching YouTubers. It really feels like I'm watching with some homies." Well, that's really appreciated.
Yeah, thank
Um, that's something that we want to try to emulate is that obviously, you know, we're not watching with you guys, but you are watching with us. And in a way, I guess we're
Mhm.
watching with you guys. But I think one of the best parts of certain reaction channels as somebody who used to consume a lot of reaction content is you want to kind of feel like you're watching it with them more than you're watching them watch it, if that makes sense.
Right.
And if we can kind of create that atmosphere where you guys feel included, or feel like you're watching along with us, that really does mean a lot, and hopefully it brightens your day a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely one of the best comments we can get, I think, is, if it feels like that, then perfect. That means we're doing something correct. And we hope that you all, or as many of you as we can, feel like you're just watching with some homies, friends, you know.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Joey, for the $5 super chat. All right, let's get back to this
Oh, geez.
personality uh questionnaire.
Oh, so we
So,
left off on that disagree about the
right.
interpretations.
So I'm gonna go to next. Okay. Next one. Facts and logic drive your actions more than emotions do.
That's not mine, but I am interested to hear your answer to that.
I think they should. But do they do that for me? Um, that's a hard. I'm gonna go. Sl- I'm gonna go slightly agree, and I'll say here's the rule: we're just never gonna do the middle option because that's just not fun.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess if you really feel like it's the middle, you could do the middle.
Right.
But for me, I think I'm gonna go slightly agree because I like to make my decisions based off of facts and logic, but I am human and
Mhm.
I can't even imagine how many decisions I make a day um based off of emotion. But I would say facts and logic tend to drive my actions more than emotions, but
Yeah, I would say that for you. I'd say
but
that when we usually
slightly. Like, cause I still have situations like I'll like there might be times where I'm like, I might get a little anxious about germs and I wash my hands more. So logically you could say, well, you're washing your hands so you can get rid of it. But you could also say, well, you're being a little bit emotional about how much you're washing your hands. So it's like,
I think it just depends on the type of situation too. Like in certain situations where it maybe pertains to YouTube and stuff like that, you're gonna be like, I'm going off of whatever the fact is, whatever logically makes sense. But then there's
yeah.
obviously those variable situations where it's like, well, your emotions can kind of make the decision for you.
All
My
right.
question was, you
I'll go
find it
slightly.
challenging. Mine was, you find it challenging to relate to people who are primarily guided by their emotions. And I'm gonna say slightly disagree because I can understand someone being guided by their emotions. I wouldn't say it's hard to relate to because I make decisions off my emotions. I think it'd be weird for me to say, like, I agree that it's hard to relate to them.
So
'Cause,
what was the question and what was your answer?
you find it challenging to relate to people who are primarily guided by their emotions. And I
Mhm.
said I slightly disagree because I don't
Okay.
think it's hard for me to relate to someone. Now, granted, I'm not primarily guided by emotions, I like to think, but I can still understand someone that is.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. And we got a $5 wiggity woggity wiggity walk from Drop Barracuda. Thank you, Drop, throwing in another support chat here. That really means a lot. Drop says, "What were slash are y'all's favorite reaction channels, if any?" Well, I've answered this before. For me, um, I have a few. I'm gonna name 5 that just come to my mind immediately. Natalie Gold, I like her content. Holden Hardman, I like their content. Bad Medicine, I think they're really fun to watch. Cinebinge, I think that they're really fun too. And uh, um, Get Jabby, or JB, or it's now Cine Diaz or something like that. His new channel name, but I would say them for some.
I don't watch reaction channels to like movie reaction channels, I should say. Like
Well,
people reacting to, I mean, Cam&Zay is my favorite reaction channel of all time, and it should be all your favorites too. Shameless plug.
there you go. All right. Um, thank you. I dropped Barracuda. Okay. Jathy says Bad Medicine is cool. Yeah, Bad Medicine. They're pretty fun. They're these big guys, like
Mhm.
I don't know, like 6'2" or 6'3", and they're like just built like not they're not like weightlifters, but they're just big guys, and it's so
Yeah.
fun to see them like kind of like either nerd out or get giddy over something. So it's yeah, it's fun to watch.
I'll have to check 'em
Um,
out.
David says Cinebinge are great. Yeah, Cinebinge are Canadians. They're really fun to watch too. Okay, all right, back to this. You usually prefer just doing what you feel like at any given moment instead of planning a particular daily routine.
Mm. I'm gonna go slightly agree because I feel like I don't really have a routine. Even like on days, like if I have extended periods of days off, I like to plan certain things, but I'm not like my day's not super structured. Like wake up, I'm gonna do this, then 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 I'm gonna do like, and that's like my whole day. So I'm gonna go slightly agree.
This is hard because I find myself waking up and, like, kind of planning my day then.
Mhm.
So it's not a routine, but it is planned, but there are things I do that are routine, like my bird or it's dishes
Right, yeah.
or certain food that I get and things like that. I'm gonna say slightly disagree because I do find myself more on a routine that with a little bit of a flexibility in between. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna say slightly disagree.
I think I prefer just being able to choose, like, what I wanna do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I feel like if I had like, let's say I have a list of stuff to do, I might be like, "Eh, I don't feel like doing the dishes right now, but I'll go do this." You know what I'm saying? Where it's like,
Sure.
I'm not structuring it like, "We'll do this first," and then even if it's
Oh,
logically
I'm a huge, like, I'm gonna do this, and then when I'm done with that, I'm gonna do this, and then when I'm done with
yes,
that,
yeah,
I'm gonna do this.
I'm not. I'm like, "What do I feel like
Okay.
doing now?"
Okay.
Also, you weren't kidding. Bad Medicine, they're massive. I just pulled them up for a quick second. I just looked at their YouTube. They're big dudes.
Yeah, yeah, they're big
Like,
guys,
holy cow.
but and they're fun to watch. Um, uh, next statement. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet.
Strongly disagree. I'm very every interaction I have with somebody, I wanna make sure it's like, I've had too many situations where giving a very good first impression on something led me to like, I became the ambassador for the JDRF only on the off chance that I hopped in the golf cart with the lady that, like, she ran the branch of the JDRF around us, and because of my impression on her, she was like, "Wow, he's very well spoken," this, and I was only, like, 10 or 11. So, like, I've had too many of those situations that play out where it's like, "Oh, because I made a good impression," and just I guess I think my parents really kinda focused me on that, like, "Hey, when you meet someone, you polite, everything, da, da, da." So, I'm gonna say strongly disagree. I think I very heavy on my first impression with people.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say disagree for the same reason, but I'm going one down because I do find myself if the people aren't like this might be really fucked up to say, but if I don't consider the people like relatively important to me, I don't give a shit what they think about me. So
That's fair, that's fair. That's super fair.
Obviously, if it's a job interview or one thing I'm really, Astor says, "Is this the Myers-Briggs personality test? Where did you get these questions?" Yeah, this is like the Myers-Briggs personality test. It's on 16 personalities, .com, and that's what we're doing. This is free personality test. Um, so basically, if it's like an interview or if it's like one thing I really worry about for some reason is like my friends' parents. Like I
Yeah,
always want them to like have a good impression on me for some reason. So when it's like really important people, I really care. But I'm gonna go with disagree instead of strongly disagree because if they're not that important to me, I couldn't give a shit what they think about me. So,
that's fair, fair.
okay. What Zay, why don't you read the next one? Well, yeah, maybe we have the same one or
Yeah,
not.
let's see. You enjoy participating in team-based activities. Do you enjoy participating in team-based
Uh,
activities?
I'm gonna go disagree. I'm not gonna go strongly disagree, but I'm gonna go
Okay.
disagree. I hate working in groups. I hate working in teams. I hate working in,
Yeah.
things like this. I like working by myself. I like being responsible for my own actions. I don't like, um, other people being responsible. If I am in a group, I wanna be the leader and I want everybody to listen to me, and if they don't
Mhm.
listen to me, I'm gonna drive myself insane, but I'm not gonna be pushy. I'm gonna let them do whatever they wanna do, but on the inside, I'm gonna be fucking boiling.
Okay.
I don't like team-based activities, uh, but and even sports, like, when I tried sports, I liked MMA more than, like, football or soccer or anything like that. I like being responsible for my own decisions and not holding responsibility for other people's decisions, and also, like, not being responsible for what other people do and stuff like that, and dealing with their consequences. But I have really fun on co-op video games, where responsibilities don't
Sure.
matter that much.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with disagree, but not strongly disagree because I don't generally like being on a team. But if it's like a
Mhm.
video game, I have a lot of fun with that.
So I'm on the opposite end. I'm gonna go agree because I'm big sports, like team sports, basketball, soccer, football, etc. But I will say what the thing that keeps it from strongly agree is the same thing you said. I don't like working in groups. Like there's certain tasks and projects and stuff where I would much rather be alone because I don't have to worry about other people and like how my flow is going to interact with theirs. Like, there's been plenty of group projects where I just was like, I'll make the PowerPoint. Like, please just give me the information. I will do it because too many opinions and then it just chaos sometimes. So definitely team sport guy, co-op game guy, but not so much working in groups that much, depending on the project, I guess.
Okay. All right. Well, we got a $10 just bangerang from Joey Forbes. Thank you, Joey. Joey says, "Would you guys ever watch Outlaw King? Not only is it way more historically accurate than Braveheart, it's about Robert picking up where Wallace left off." Yeah, this movie
Mm,
was suggested quite a few times on Braveheart. I'm definitely down to watch it at some point.
yeah.
But yeah, you know how at the end of Braveheart it ended off with, spoiler alert, with like Robert like being like, fight for me or for him or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
This is
yeah.
like kind of guess the movie is about where it picks up from there, kind of type of situation.
Interesting. Yeah, that'd be a fun watch then. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. Well, thank you, Joey, and thank you for the $10. That
Thank you.
really does mean a lot. It always is really helpful when you guys super chat, because again, sometimes we get copyright claims, we can't make money on certain videos. So these streams help out as well. But again, these streams are for us to just have a good time. We're not asking
Mhm.
anybody to super chat, but it always does mean a lot when you do. So thank you, Joey. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Jesse says you bled with Wallace. Yeah, I'll now bleed with me. That's what he says.
Mhm.
All right, next one.
All right. Your dreams tend to be vivid and fantastical.
That is not what mine says, but go ahead and answer that for yourself.
I vivid, sure. Fantastical, usually horrific for some odd reason. Not
Yeah, but that
quite
could still count
fantastic.
as like Lord of the Rings is a fantasy genre, but there are horrific things in
No,
there.
but like the first dream I thought of was the one with my parents in the vampire thing. It's like vivid and horrific is usually how it goes. Not so much
Help me.
fantastical.
Sorry, we can't help you.
Oh yeah, bro. Oh, bro, I'll never let them live that down, even though it was in my. It's like a girlfriend that wakes up. She's like, "You cheat on me in your
Yeah, you
dreams."
woke up and you're like,
I was looking at them. I was like, "So that's what I am to you. That's what I am." I would say, I'll slightly agree because I do have some pretty vivid dreams, but they're not like super. They're not really super consistent. I don't have like a lot of vivid dreams, like ones I can say like I remember ish a little bit of. But when I do have a dream I can remember, they're usually pretty over the top. It's like okay,
all right. Mine says you enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches.
mm,
I want to say I strongly agree, but I'm going to say I agree because I love trying out new ideas and new pathways, like especially with games like, ooh, let me see if this works, like new things I
yeah,
haven't tried before or stuff like that. I love I love coming up with new ideas or new strategies or new ways to do certain things, but I also really do enjoy the safe side and the practiced and true ways of doing things. But since it's asking if I enjoy experimenting with new and untested approaches, I'm gonna say I agree. Yeah, I do enjoy that. I'm gonna go with that one.
okay, all right, fair enough.
Stan says, "Is Cam short for Cameron?" Yes, it is, Stan.
All right, helping others succeed brings you more happiness than your own achievements. Hmm. I'm gonna sound narcissistic.
Yeah, what if it's like you're a blazing sociopathic narcissist? Like,
Be like, well, and I think that's time for the stream. I think it's gonna have to get going. Helping others. Look, I enjoy helping others. I really do. But there's something about me achieving something. All right. To be fair, I I enjoy helping others. Would I enjoy it a little bit more if my achievement was also a part of that? For sure. Who wouldn't? I think. I'm sounding real bad right now, but
no,
I
I'll tell
would.
you right now, I don't strongly disagree because I do like helping people, but I disagree because I would be lying to you in the world if I said that when I achieve something, I'm less happy than when others achieve something with my help. No,
Yeah.
no,
I
no,
think
no, 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 no. I want to achieve shit. Okay, so um,
Oh, I think I get petty. I think I'm like, "Oh, okay, so you just think you're better than me?"
you know what? Here's something that might be really fucked up about
Oh,
me.
no?
I'll just be
Okay.
honest. It's gonna sound really fucked up.
This is
Thank
gonna
yous
sound
aren't
bad.
enough. Thank yous aren't enough. I don't like
Thank
when I help
you.
someone. It's not like I don't like when I help someone and they say thank you, but when I help somebody and they say thank you, I'm like, I don't feel like my help I feel like my help deserves more. I don't know how to say that in the right way. Like, I appreciate thank yous. I'm not asking for more. I don't want someone to give me more, but it's like,
So
I
they
don't
can't
know.
win.
No,
They
they
can't.
can't win. But that's why I like my own achievements more than helping other people achieve theirs because it's selfish, but at the other end, it's like I don't I it has to be a really genuine thing. I think it's I don't buy thank yous. I don't
Mhm.
buy them that much. I think that's what
Okay.
I'm trying to say. Like I feel like most thank yous I hear are just like automatic responses and they're not as genuine. Like if someone was like, "Oh my gosh, like thank you so much." I'd be like, "You are quite welcome." But if someone's like, "Thanks," and they go do their thing, I'm like, "Oh, fuck you." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that that didn't feel right.
Yo. I mean, all right. Yeah, I see. Man, I see. I see what you're saying.
So I'm gonna go with
I
disagree.
agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go agree because
Yeah, a dream says thank you feels empty. Exactly. A lot of thank yous, they feel empty and I don't yeah, empty is the best
yeah.
word to
Why
use.
couldn't they just? Yeah, I'm expecting. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my lord. Please take this gold in exchange for your services. I want something over the top. I want them to gift me land. Gift me something.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying gift
he
me
said.
something,
He said.
but I'm just
I'm
saying,
just
like, when
kidding.
I say thank you to someone, I try to really let them know it means something. Like, I try to be like, really thank you. You know,
He
like
hasn't
that.
said thank you to me one time in his life.
Cam prefers cash to thank yous. I do prefer cash to thank yous. I'll never turn down cash.
Listen.
No, I'm kidding. It all depends. Um, all right,
All right.
next.
That was a tough one.
All right, go ahead.
Hypothetical discussions stimulate your mind more than practical conversations. I agree. Yeah.
I don't have that one, but I would like strongly agree with that one.
Yeah. Hypotheticals are way more interesting, usually. I mean, there's some interesting practical conversations, but hypotheticals, you can create anything with a hypothetical. And it really gives you a look into someone's like mind, like what they think and all that type of stuff. So I think hypotheticals are really, really interesting.
Yeah, I would agree with that strongly, but I don't have that one. Mine says you frequently consider alternative approaches that could improve the way that things are done. I would say I slightly agree because I wouldn't say
Mm,
I frequently do this, but I definitely it
okay.
definitely comes up like more than average, I feel like. So
Okay.
I'm gonna say I slightly agree with that.
All right. All right. Fair enough.
All right, what's yours? What's your next one?
You are prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worse. I'm not gonna. I disagree. I'm not gonna lie. I do stuff, and then I don't even really think about what the consequences might be. Sometimes I'm just like, all right, well, whatever. So hopefully it works out. And then when it doesn't, I'm like, oh shit, it didn't work out.
Yeah, that's where I'm way different. I strongly agree to that. I am constantly whenever I have a vacation planned, the next 5 days, like the 5 days before the vacation, I am off my rockers about getting sick. I am worrying about it every second. When I have something really important coming up or when I have to do something the right way, I get wicked anxiety about doing it wrong or messing up or that something's going to go really bad. Like I
To be
always worry that something's gonna take a turn for the worse.
to be fair, you arguably have the worst luck out of anyone I've ever met.
Yeah,
Anytime something can go wrong, it does. The only other
Murphy's
person that has
Law.
luck like you is Drew.
Yeah,
You both
exactly.
are the unluckiest dudes I'm always just like I'm always on the end of like I don't know what to tell you. Like it's like that's terrible. Sometimes I laugh, but that's only if it's like egregious ridiculousness and like it's like unfathomable. Like what are the odds and not
Yeah.
causing too much damage?
Yeah, I think I've been, like, traumatized by how many bad luck things happen to me, so now I'm just, like, conditioned to fear the worst is gonna
Do you
happen.
remember Max got sick right before our cruise? And you were like, I remember Max was like kind of, or he was not sick, but you were like
No,
nervous he was gonna get sick or something. And
I think he got really messed up because his, rope toy, like, broke and he
mhm,
fell at the bottom and got bruised and, like, messed up
yeah,
or something like that. Yeah, that was horrible. Um, okay, next one.
you need time to recharge after being around people.
If you don't say strongly agree to this, because I feel like I mean, I don't know you. This is your personality, but like for me, I feel like you have a limit, and you're like,
I do have a
"Fuck
limit.
this."
I do have a limit. I have a limit, and when that limit's hit, that phone's on D&D. Tina and I will go out, we'll hang out with people, we will come back home and be like, "Alright, cool, so that's good for 2 weeks." We don't we're gonna stay solo. Yeah, I strongly agree. I do have a my social battery can run out. I love being social though, I love being around people, but some people take a lot out of you, you know? So,
Mhm. My next one says mine says, "You avoid leadership roles in group settings." I'm gonna go with disagree,
okay.
because if I I am a little bit of a control freak, so if I know the answer to something or the path to something, I want to be in charge. Like, if we're playing
Okay.
zombies and I know how to do the Easter egg, you just
Yep.
fucking listen to me, please. Like, I don't want anyone else to be in charge. But if I don't know, I'm not gonna take that role, period.
Yeah.
I will follow the other person. So, I think generally I like to be the leader if it's something that I have knowledge or education in enough where I feel like I can do this. But,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go fully strongly agree, because it's not like in every situation. Like, if I don't know, I'm like, I don't wanna do this.
I think it's
Um
fair too. Like, if we were playing like, if I brought you into, like, ranked Call of Duty, I'd be like, "Dude, just listen to me. This is what you're using. This is what you're doing. Like, follow me." Because if you know,
Right.
you know. Like, if you're that confident in yourself,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with it.
Alright.
Alright. You do not consider yourself an artistic type. Strongly disagree.
Oh, that's right, because you like music.
Yeah, music, everything. Music, all sorts of stuff. I used to draw. Love drawing too. I haven't done it in a really long time though.
I'm gonna go slightly agree,
Okay.
because I do like movies and films and comics and things like that, but
Mhm.
I'm not there's a lot of artistic things that fly over my head, and I'm
Mhm.
not good at understanding art that well, and most of my passions, aside from movies, which I really like, are like science and, like philosophy and things like that, so I wouldn't consider that art. But I
Okay.
do really appreciate a very small subject of art, which is like storytelling. So I
Yeah.
would say I slightly agree that I'm not an artistic type.
Okay.
Okay, what's the next
Let's
one?
see. You believe relying more on rationality and less on feelings would improve the world.
Oh, before you answer that, Stan says you should draw more, Zay. It's good for your soul.
I will. You know what? I might take you up on that, Stan, because it's been a while, but we'll see if I can get it back in me.
And Pedro says if
Um,
a conversation takes a little too long than expected for me, I already want to leave. Yeah, I get that.
yeah,
Cole
you
says
want
I'm
to?
an au- hmm?
Oh, sorry. No, we were gonna say that.
Cole
Something
says
funny about
I'm an
that.
autistic 26-year-old guy who loves art, chips, and old movies and loves Back to the Future. Nice.
Love Back to the Future. I was gonna say, if you want to know, if you want a little psychology and a body language thing, if you think that when like you're thinking about like, oh God, I want this conversation to be over, check out what your feet are doing. Typically, one of your feet is going to be faced away from the person towards an exit because you're psychologically in the background, you want to leave the conversation. So you can actually kind of tell when someone's like like you'll see a foot pivoted this way. They'll have one facing you. They
You're right, but I'm gonna put an asterisk there, not just because of what you say, but to any body language fact. Um, the most important thing you need to know about body language is it's very subjective. So if you see
oh yeah.
someone doing that, it doesn't mean they want to leave. You have to know somebody really well. And if you talk to
Yeah.
somebody and they never do that, and then they do that, then perhaps that is a sign. But there are
Have
people that might just stand that way. It's all about getting to you. Like, you can't read someone's body language for the most part, like like subtle things, if you don't know the person. You have to have
oh
a
yeah,
like a
no.
history or observe them for a while, and then if they do these behaviors and it's not their norm, then it
Have
would
you
apply
Have you read
or
What
could.
Everybody Is Saying by Joe
Yeah,
Navarro?
that's what I read.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So that was where I had read that. Like
Yeah, I
literally
read that
when you
too, where
mentioned it.
he
Yeah.
wanted to, like, make sure, like, because you like, if someone if they say, like, "Oh, you cross your arms, it means you're closed off to something." But there are a lot of people
Right.
that cross their arms are not closed off to something. You have to
Oh
make
yeah.
sure that this is somebody that doesn't do that often, right? Like, if it's
It's
someone you
more funny for
know.
yourself to be like, if you're like, "Ugh," and then you're like, "Oh shit."
Yeah,
You're like
yeah, yeah, sometimes, yeah. But,
yeah,
yeah, but this is all
great
just, like,
author. Great author.
yeah, it's a good book, check it out because we might
Joe
not know
Navarro,
exactly what we're saying here. Um,
ex-FBI body language interpreter. Or still does it? I don't know. He might be retired now. But
it said X on the book, I believe.
X, I think it was X, right?
Okay,
I'm gonna
next one.
say
Oh,
agree.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Read it and answer it again.
You believe relying more on rationality and less on feelings would improve the world. I mean, That's a tough one.
Where are you on the political spectrum? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, here we go. Strap in, baby. Let's get it. No, I'm kidding. I'm not. Cam knows I'm like not political. I
No.
look. I pay attention to politics to an extent. Don't ask me what side I'm on. Don't ask me any of those things. You want to ask me about a topic in my Twitch stream or something, I can give you a little bit of what like I don't know a lot about politics. I don't pay attention to it as much as I should. I think I should get more involved in it. I'm gonna say I slightly agree because I think that there are aspects where decisions are kind of being made out of emotion or like movements are created out of emotion and they're just have so much momentum and strength behind them that it can influence it. But I think a lot of stuff, I hope a lot of stuff is being made out of rationales, but sometimes you see the world and you're like, is it?
I think it depends. It definitely depends. I think that probably more important decisions should obviously be more based off of rationale. I don't have this question, but I do wanna
Yeah.
yeah, I do wanna mention, like, I think when it's about making important decisions, rationale is important. But when it comes to things like art and community, working off feelings might be the better option in terms of like making a movie or something. Like obviously there's a rationale you need
Mhm.
to follow, but you know that when like you take a corporate person and you put them in charge of a movie instead of a creative person that might act more off of their emotions and things like that, you're gonna get a really cookie cutter, formulaic, kind of bad movie. Um,
Right, yeah.
so it really depends on what we're talking about. But I think like if the question is like for a better world in general, I think I would slightly agree with that as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good question though. That's a really good question.
Mine's kind of like
Um,
that.
yeah, what's yours?
Mine says when making decisions, you focus more on logic than how others might feel about your actions. I'm gonna go with slightly agree because I
Mhm.
do have a bad habit of telling somebody the truth even if I shouldn't have. Um, like if I think that the logical answer is yes and that would hurt their feelings,
Yeah.
I probably should just be kind. But I find myself at times just not even realizing that like I just um say something. Like I remember one time, to get like vulnerable with everybody here. Not really vulnerable, but there was something I did that I feel really bad about when I used to work at this restaurant. I wouldn't do this now, but I did do
Mhm.
this a while ago. I think it might have been like 5 or 6 years ago. And I had this girl come up to me, another employee, and she had really baggy eyes. And she was like, "Do I look
Ooh.
like tired? Do I look bad, right now?" And she looked like she tried her makeup, and I was like, "Yeah, you look awful. This does not look good."
Oh my
And
god.
and apparently she cried, and it was a whole thing, and I was like, "I'm sorry." Like, I should have just been like, "You're fine, you're good." But, like, I focused more on logic than I did about how others felt about my actions. And so I said, "Yeah, you look awful." Um, I think the problem was because I wasn't close to her, you know?
Yeah.
If it was somebody I was close to, I'd probably be even now, I'd probably be more honest, but if it's somebody I'm not that close to, probably best to just be like, "Yeah, you're okay," you know?
And we look at
Um,
truth over a pretty lie. I mean, can't I sit down and if I sit down to record, can't be like, "You look exhausted." I'll be like, "Thanks, brother. Appreciate that." I was like but
yeah, it was a bad guys, it was 5 to 6 years ago. I wouldn't do something like that again, but yeah, I did make that mistake.
Cam's one of the most truthful people I know. It's insane. He will literally he would rat he will lying is, like, not in his
I
ability.
don't like it.
It's actually insane.
I will do white lies to strangers, like if so
Yeah,
like,
that's
a lot of
different.
people call my dog a she, and I'm not gonna correct them. There's no point. I'm just gonna move on. My dog is a he, but
Yeah.
like, sometimes I'll just act like it's a she because I don't wanna,
Right. That's yeah,
um,
harmless.
say since you were just trying to help maybe. I wasn't trying to help or insult. I was just trying to answer the question to the best of my, like, observation. That was it.
You did it. Hey, you're built for science. He
Yeah, so
observed and then reported.
okay.
Alright, and then let's see. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax? Strongly agree. Tina knows this. I don't even know if she's still in the chat, but if I have like laundry and stuff, I won't even when she's here, like I won't be able to sit down and watch a show until like I have my laundry's done. Like everything needs to be in a state of doneness. It pisses me off if I'm leaving it there. So
Mhm. Okay, I have the same question. I'm gonna go slightly disagree. Um,
Mm.
I like to do things when I'm in a wired, like, state of mind. So,
Mhm.
if I wake up and I got things to do and I wanna relax for a little bit, I'm gonna relax for a little bit, and I'm gonna wait until my body is like, "Now." Like, now you feel like you're in the mood to work. And then once I get into that
Right.
mood, I, like, nonstop, and I wanna bang everything out at that point. I'm okay with relaxing before, I'm okay with relaxing after. I'm I when it comes to, like, things I have to do, um, I try to, like, prime myself to get into that mood, and I'm okay doing other things before, like, even if that's, like, chilling or whatever. It's not, like, haunting my mind type of situation.
Yeah,
So,
it's
I
just
will
I
say
guess my issue
slightly
is
disagree.
I guess my issue is that once I start to, like, relax, again, I can easily sink into not doing be like, just putting it off, so I think I just have trained myself to be like, "No, just do it now, just do it now. Take the 10 minutes to finish what you're doing, then you don't have to worry about it anymore, you don't have to hear about it."
I have moments where I'm like that, and I have moments where I'm like, I can just chill here or do this for another 30 minutes, and then
Mhm.
once that 30 minutes goes down, I'm like, "Okay, up now." Like, I force myself up to do it,
Yeah,
and then I get into the mood. So I'm gonna go, like, slightly
okay.
disagree because I'm fine either way, but I do like having my chores done first. It does feel better, not gonna lie, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna slightly disagree.
Alright. Um, alright, you prefer not to share your feelings to avoid burdening others. Strongly agree. I do that all the time. Very bad habit. You guys have feelings and emotions, you should again, like, odds are you're probably not burdening someone, and if you need to talk to someone and you have someone that you can talk to, get that out because keeping that stuff in is just no positives usually come from it at all. So, I have a bad habit of doing it. Ironically, I wanted to be a psychologist where people are supposed to vent their emotions, and I'm the one that likes to keep mine caged in, but I digress.
Okay. Um, I have the same question. But yeah, I have noticed that about you. You're very, like, you don't talk about your feelings too much unless you need an answer for something.
And she hates it. With a passion.
I'm gonna I'm somewhere on the agree spectrum, but I'm not
Mhm.
strongly agree.
'Cause I feel like you've spoken about your emotions to me, you know,
Right.
regarding certain stuff for sure.
I'm gonna go slightly agree.
Mm,
Um, no, I'm gonna go agree because 'cause I'm not one to, like, pour my feelings onto somebody, but I
right.
will talk about certain things that I'm feeling if I think it's a good idea or something like that. Um, but I think generally, like, we don't talk about our feelings all the time.
No,
So,
just what
I'm
we
probably
do.
gonna say, like, I agree that I prefer not to share my feelings to avoid burdening others, but I'm gonna strongly agree because I have no problem, like, getting into my feelings if I feel like it's relevant or it could help me out or something. But I'm
Right.
also not gonna go, like, slightly agree because it's not like we talk about it even, like, 50% of the time, like, it's probably, like, 5 to 8% of the time I'll get into my feelings or something.
Very specific topic. Like,
Yeah,
something has to come up and somehow that conversation develops. Like, it's rare that we're just like, "Dude."
sure. Um, I mean, obviously, if we're watching movies and we're feeling something, we're
Yeah,
gonna express that.
that's
That's
different,
our
yeah.
job. But yeah. So next is you find the idea of networking or promoting yourself to strangers very daunting.
Networking or promoting yourself to strangers, but, like, I guess it's like, what do you mean by promoting yourself? Like,
Um,
you know what I
like
mean?
like networking or kind of like the talking to strangers at a party, like getting yourself out there, letting people know who you
Uh,
are, trying to make connections with people. Um, not
hmm.
naturally, but this is more like intentionally.
I would say slightly agree. I'd say slightly agree for me. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's, like, the worst like, I'll do it. I'll do it if I have to, but it's again, I usually lean towards, like, the wallflower a lot of the time.
Okay. So you're gonna go slightly agree?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go slightly disagree because I don't find the idea of it daunting. Um, I
Mhm.
find it exciting, but like you said, it's not something that I would like I don't think it's something I would actively do unless
Mhm.
someone was like, "Hey, you need to get in good with these people." If somebody told me that, I would be excited and ready to do it.
Yeah.
But, so I'm gonna go slightly disagree. I don't find the idea daunting. It's just not something I find myself, like, actively doing, but I would do if someone, like, was like, "Hey, you got to get to know these people."
Yeah, like, you gotta talk to these people. That's fair.
Alright, what's the next one?
Your mood can change very quickly. I'm gonna agree because something can go wrong and it can swing me. It can get me pretty like, it can get me upset pretty quickly.
Okay. You're gonna agree because your mood can
Yeah.
change? I'm gonna go with, agree as well, because don't read it yet, don't read it yet. I already
Alright,
read it, it made me laugh.
okay.
Um, I'm gonna go with your mood can change very quickly. I'm gonna go with agree, not in like a sporadic type of way, but more
Mhm.
like I'm really good at being like irritated by something and then just being distracted and being like, never mind. I'm enjoying
Yeah.
right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm really good at like moving on really quickly, almost
Oh, yeah.
like I have moments where I'm talking to someone, they're like, I just need a second. And I'm just like, oh really? Are you still upset? Like I'm good now. Like, even though we
Yeah,
just had this conversation type of
I shoulda added
situation.
that, yeah, it swings both ways. It can go from like, something can piss me off really quickly, or I can just be like, "Yeah, whatever. Is what it is."
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with agree. All right, let's get into the $20 smackaroony from James Jackson. Thank you, James Jackson. That really does mean a lot. That's a good amount. I have read it, but it's pretty funny. We'll read it again here. Things I have learned so far. Cam is rude to women, not accepting of thanks, and assumes the gender of his dog without asking. Ha ha ha. What's the most frightening thing that you overcame? That's funny. I would like for you to do one about Zay because I'm sure you've collected some information
I'm a
or
peach. I'm precious.
you're a butt. Ha! No. Okay, yeah,
Stays
no,
rude to
no,
me.
that's funny. That made me laugh when I saw it.
That's really funny.
But I know the gender of my dog, okay? He is a he.
Is he looking
That's
at you?
uh I don't know. I can't see him right now. He ran away. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. What about your dog? Your dog looks like a he. He's got a male shirt. Did you assume that your dog was a he and gave him a he shirt? Huh? Because it go both ways. Anyways, what's the most frightening thing that you overcame? Zay, what about you?
Mm, damn, most frightening thing I overcame? I don't really think I have, like, a good one. I don't know, but not as I now capture spiders instead of killing them. Like, that's, like I really don't have, like, the most frightening thing I overcame. Um, Probably learning to live with my type 1 diabetes, I guess. 'Cause
Mhm.
that was, like, so much information all at once, like, that completely flipped my world upside down. So I'd say that was probably the most.
Okay. That's a good one. What's the most frightening thing that I overcame? I think that's a good one. It's gotta do something with, I think I think I don't know if self-acceptance is the right answer, but I
Mhm.
used to have a lot of fears that, like, I am something I'm not. Like, I used to be afraid that, like, what if I'm a monster, or what if I'm, a bad person, or what if I'm this, or what if I'm that? Like, just, like and having, like, intrusive thoughts and feeling like that those thoughts were, like, defining of who I am. Like, an example is, like, some people might have someone talk bad about them, right? And then you have an intrusive thought, you're like, "Ooh," like you punch them in the face in your head. You're like,
Mhm.
"Oh, you're imagining it." I used to have a lot of, like, anxiety, like, "Why did I imagine that? Am I a bad person? Like,
Oh, I
am
see.
am I horrible?" Like, it was hard for me to accept that everybody has those types of thoughts and intrusive, like, thoughts, even if they're not descriptive of who you are or the things you want. And I had a long time working through that with myself and understanding that sometimes your consciousness is just a stream of all kinds of things and they're not representative of who you are. It's more
Yeah.
about what you do and like how you truly feel about something. So I was really frightened by things like that growing up, but I've come to overcome that a lot. So I would probably say that.
I think there's an important message in that too, just like you said, where I think people like just because you have that like quick intrusive thought doesn't mean again, it's not defining who you are. It doesn't mean like, oh my God,
Right.
you're a criminal bad person. How could you ever people it happens. Heat of the moment, emotions. We've been talking about emotions this whole time. So I think that's a very important kind of message for there are younger people in there, maybe people that relate to what Cam was just talking about, you know, you're not alone.
Yeah. Well, there you go. All right. Thank you, James, for the $20 smackaroony. All right. Let's get back into here now.
All right. If you had to choose, you would pick competence over friendliness when hiring. I mean, that's like, I mean, ye- I'd probably say, yeah, I'd probably say agree. I'm sure
Okay.
there's some roles where you could find friendliness being maybe a little bit having an edge
Hmm.
over competence, like maybe some sort of like sales position or something like that. But a lot of jobs where you definitely want competence. You know what I mean? Not even like sales. I don't even know. Like, what would you use friendliness? Like friendliness?
Sales,
Camp,
sales.
camp counselor. You want them to be friendly for sure.
Um. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I can disagree with that there, but that's not my question.
Oh,
My
okay. What's
question
yours?
says, you think colleagues may see you as task focused rather than relationship oriented? It's a little similar of a question, but it's more like, what do you
Yeah,
think people see you as? And I would say, agree. I mean, I do think it's important to make relationships with the people you work with, but I think it's more important to focus on what your job is. So I'm going to go with
yeah,
agree.
and I would agree with on that one as well. Still make relationships at my job, but I'm more focused on the task at hand typically.
All right. We got a $5 smackaroony with Tariq. Wow. Thank you, Tariq, for the $5 super chat. He says, nobody is perfect, but would you have advice on dealing with depression? This channel has helped me. Just a small disclaimer before we talk about this. We're not professionals. Zay has his
Yeah,
bachelor's in psychology, but he's not a
got it.
psychologist.
Yep.
We're not licensed. We're just average people giving our average opinion on certain things. So just take what we say with a grain of salt. Natalie says, "Love you, Cam. Love you, babe." Um, so with that being said, advice on dealing with depression just from two average people who have their own personal life experiences. Again, we're not experts. And don't take everything we say again, take it with a grain of salt. And only if you agree with what we're saying, then maybe take it harder or with a bigger grain
Mhm.
of salt. But yeah, um, Zay, why don't you go first?
Oh, gives me the daunting task. No, I'm just kidding. Um, man, dealing with depression. I mean, I guess it kind of depends. I guess it's like,
And Tina's here too. Hi, Tina.
hey, hey, baby. I guess it kind of depends because if it's like maybe situational and that there was like an event or something that's causing it, understand that those like I don't want not it's gonna sound blunt like, but life goes on and like those like every moment that you have as important every moment is in your life that you're having, they do it does go past and things do get better. Even if you feel like you're in some sort of hole or like nothing is gonna get better, it does get better. It's the hardest thing to do is to kind of I feel like accept that and take that leap and understand that. And again, like we said before, if you bottle up emotions and stuff like that, you really if you have someone in your life that you can talk to and vent to or, maybe get their feedback on, whatever the case is, whether it's a therapist, psychologist, or just a best friend. Like if I was talking to Cam, you should do it because you don't understand the relief that it'll give you until you actually do it. It usually feels scary because you feel like someone's going to judge you. And a lot of times they might even relate to you and they're not going to be judging you. There's times where I've said stuff to Cam and I'm like, oh God. And he's had moments where he relates to it. And there's times where Cam says stuff to me. I'm like, dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. I had a situation like this. And that type of stuff, A, creates a better bond, but B, allows you to feel like you're not alone. So that's like, I'm glad that the channel, and we're both glad that the channel can help you. I mean, it's, you know, we hope that we make a welcoming community and people are able to be comfortable here and be able to use it as a distraction because it distracts me from stuff, recording with Cameron, hanging out with Cameron. And that's, I think, just very, very important, with trying to overcome it and trying to work through it.
All right, well, there you go. On kind of like a not contrast, but on another note as well, in addition to like having that person to vent to and like more on top of like the idea of having a distraction, I wouldn't say distraction, but I would say keep busy. Find a purpose.
Mhm.
Find something that drives you or something that makes you feel motivated to continue doing it. Because I am somebody that can't have idle time. I can't do it.
Mm.
Idle relaxing might be some people might consider idle time, but like I've got to be something while I'm relaxing or spending time with somebody or thinking about something. Um, some idle time is okay if it's for relaxing or something like that. But on general, you need a purpose, you need drive, you need something that keeps you busy. It's extremely important. It, we've evolved to be creatures that are doing things. I mean, literally we like everybody has a different perspective on like evolution and religion and all that, but throughout human history, we have been constantly doing things. And when you find yourself not doing something, you you start questioning your existence, you start questioning purpose, like or some people do. Um and it's not healthy. It's not healthy to have too much idle time. You got to find a hobby, a passion, something you can look forward to. If it's once a day, once a month or something, you need to keep busy and feel like you have purpose. That would be something that I would recommend personally.
Yeah, and even think about it from like Cam saying, keep busy. Let's say you decide, you know what, I'm gonna to kind of distract me or not distract again, like to keep busy. I'll say because I'd like that, like you said that better than distraction. Yeah, I'm gonna learn this language. I want to pick back up Spanish. You know, I used to learn it, and being able to see yourself progress and achieve through something like that also will boost your it'll boost basically your self esteem. It can help boost your self esteem. You know, you're gonna feel like, oh my gosh, like wow, in this amount of time weightlifting is a very easy one. I remember weightlifting was one for me that getting to see progress in the gym. It's like, holy cow, like I went from here and you don't even now you're not even thinking about maybe those negative thoughts as much or maybe even at all. You're so focused on like, holy cow, I'm doing this, doing that. And it can stimulate you to start to pursue other things like, oh, I want to do this next. I want to do that. And you can build a community with people too. You find people by doing these activities. So you might find future freaking great friends even from doing that type of stuff as well.
Yeah, I think my biggest advice to somebody who is like rock bottom is find a hobby.
Yeah.
That because that will open up so much more. Just like Zay said, you'll find friends, you'll find passion, you'll like that. That'd be like my number one advice. Just find something. Um, all right, but yeah, all right. Thank you, Tariq, and
Great.
hopefully the advice helps you out. And thank you for the $5 super chat. All right, let
Ooh.
us get back into this test here. This
You
questionnaire.
often end up doing things at the last possible moment. I'm gonna say slightly agree. I do push stuff off a lot of the time. It was mostly school stuff, but I do tend to push stuff off. But I'm getting better at it, so I'm getting better at not doing it.
Okay. Um, yeah, I'm gonna slightly agree too. I have an issue with putting things off.
Yeah, it's so easy to. That's the problem. Is it's so easy to be like, yeah, I'll do it later.
Yeah. But I'm only slightly agreeing because it's not like the worst problem in the world.
No, no. Um, and then lastly, well, for this at least this page, you eagerly integrate new technologies and trends into your life, and I'd say I agree. I don't think I really struggle with integrating new technologies. Trends is kind of weird because like I don't necessarily follow trends, I guess. Like if it yeah. Like if it's something for like the YouTube, like if we're like, oh, we're gonna start like doing this because like this is getting popular or something, I guess I'd be like, yeah, okay. If we can implement it, we can implement it. But I wouldn't say I function on trends that heavily. So I'll say agree for the technology aspect more or less, not so
Okay.
much the trends.
Okay. Um, Mine is you find surreal or abstract art beautiful. I'm gonna go with slightly disagree.
Okay.
Um, I'm a big fan of what is. I'm a big fan
Mhm.
of nature, animals, the sky, the sea, the stars. That is the art that I find beautiful. Right? There are surreal imagery and things that I do find beautiful for some reason. I just find like resonating with it sometimes. So I'm gonna go with
Okay.
slightly disagree because I don't often find like abstract art beautiful. All right.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Next, you usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own.
I'm gonna go. Ooh, really tough. Because the problem is, once I'm out and around others, I'm having a blast. Probably better than I would by myself. But typically, yeah, no, I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna disagree. I do. I could roll solo literally for days and days and days and be fine.
I think I'm gonna slightly disagree. Um, I like to be around others, but I like
Mhm.
to be on my own. Um, and I think I like to be on my own more, but but by my own, I mean with me and my girlfriend, of course.
Ooh.
Thank you, James. No, but like in general, I find myself like if it's like kind of like me and my girlfriend on our own, or like me and my girlfriend out with the people.
Mhm.
No, I do probably a little bit prefer me to be on my own, but not that much because I do like to be out with people. So I'm gonna go slightly disagree.
So, yeah, obviously, I wanna be on my own with Tina just texted me to call her after the stream. I'm in
Oh,
trouble. No, could you imagine? But yeah, I agree. Obviously, alone with our girlfriend is a little bit different, but I was just from my aspect, yeah, I'd rather be I'm typically fine being on my own. My parents think it's weird. I'm like, I don't know. I don't need interaction 24/7. I don't need like I can stimulate myself basically.
okay. All right. Next one. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. I'm gonna go strongly disagree.
Yeah.
I'd be probably become more interested the more theoretical it gets. So yeah, that's a strong disagree from me.
That's a strong disagree as well. I think theoretical stuff like I think that stuff again can drive a conversation, create like very interesting ideas, topics, and again, you get to look in someone's brain a little bit more. You're like, ah, okay, so that's how you view this, and you know. So I agree with you on that. I strongly disagree.
Okay. Next one. You find it easy to empathize with a person whose experiences are very different from yours. I'm gonna go with disagree.
Okay.
Um, I'm not gonna go with strongly disagree because I can still kinda see where they're coming from and relate it to my own personal experiences in some way and empathize that way. But I'm gonna go with disagree because I definitely can sympathize with someone who has very different experiences
Mhm.
from me, but when it becomes empathize, like, I can't empathize w I don't know if I'm using the words correctly, but I can't empathize with you what it's like to have type 1 diabetes. Do you get what I'm
Mhm.
saying? That experience that you
Right.
is very different from me. I can't empathize with that because I don't have that. But I can sympathize, I can feel sympathy and understand that you're going through a personal struggle, and I know what it's like to go through a personal struggle, but I wouldn't say, like, it's easy for me to empathize and, like, know how someone is feeling when they have a very different experience from mine. So I'm gonna go with just disagree.
I'm on the opposite end. I'm gonna go agree. I usually am pretty I would like to say, to my own horn, that I'm pretty good at empathizing with people, whether it's very similar experiences or very different experiences. I think that's what kind of drove me into the field that I studied and
Mhm.
kind of like that is being able because again, I like talking to people. I know I just said I like also being alone, but I do like talking to people, listening to people. I'm very big on listening. You guys are learning that about me. Not big on showing my feelings, but I am very big on just like hearing what people say and kind of just like taking it in and trying to assist where I can if they want that, obviously. Um, Tina said it's also the only child syndrome because of that last question. Not only child syndrome.
Joey with a $5 smackaroonie says, I know this combo was ages ago, but I urgently feel the need to let you know Robert never betrayed Wallace. That's 100% a movie. Yeah, we heard a lot about the inaccuracies of Braveheart. Don't
Yeah.
you worry.
Oh, it was pretty funny. There was like it was the comments got flooded like they don't even know how wrong this movie is. Still a great
Ye
movie.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Joey. Yeah, a dream says, I believe you used the words right. Cam Stacey
Yeah.
says empathy implies you've been through the same experience. So it's like that's where it's like for me, I can find it easy to sympathize. But I think some people, like Zay is saying, like I think you can not have the exact same experience, but you could still empathize by perhaps like really putting yourself in their shoes or something, perhaps.
It's really like
Um,
empathy is the understanding and sharing the feelings of another, where sympathy is like just to kind of share in the suffering or the grief that they're experiencing. That's
okay,
just
yeah,
like
yeah, I would still stick with my answer
it's
on
not
on
it's
that.
I don't think it's easy to empathize. I think people can empathize, but I think it's very to empathize with someone's experience that's way different, I think is like I'm not like I'm not saying I'm some freaking like magic 8 ball or once in a lifetime person, but I feel that I've had the ability to, and I try to use it
Yeah.
where I can to assist people.
Yeah, and I think for me, I just makes the most sense to be like I can't empathize with you about the diabetes, but I can sympathize. Like I
It's fair.
can share in your whatever makes you sad about it.
Right.
But I can't really feel what you're feeling to that extreme. So but I'm not going strongly disagree, just
No,
disagree.
no, I think that's fair, it's fair.
Um Next one. What does it say, Zay?
Um, you find making a final decision difficult as it feels like you are closing the door on other possibilities. Strongly agree.
What does
I
it
hate
say?
make
Because I don't have that one.
Oh, you find making a final decision difficult as it feels like you are closing the door on other possibilities, and
Mm,
I strongly agree. I hate making a decision like that where it's like, if you do this, then all like, it always feels like everything else shuts down, which a lot of times is probably not that dramatic, but yeah, I'm very bad decision maker.
I would probably I don't have that one. I'd probably disagree with that just because I find myself burning bridges a lot, and not in necessarily a bad way.
Oh, okay. I was like, "Geez."
Just me being like this is what I'm doing. I don't care. Like I want to do this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna have a good time
Yeah,
doing this, and I don't care what happens, and I don't want to go back or think about the other possibilities. Like I'm
that's fair.
um. But okay,
Now granted, once I get there, once I made the decision, I'm usually fine. I, like, don't even think about
okay,
all the other possibilities.
but it's
It's
like
just that
that
moment that
last
builds up.
step.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Mine says you often find yourself being late to meetings and appointments.
Be honest.
I'm gonna go with agree.
Mhm.
Not strongly agree because there are times where I am on time for meetings and appointments. If it's of the utmost, if it's like again, if it's like utmost importance, I'm there and I'm probably there early. Just because I know my habit of being late. You get what I'm saying? Like if something is like, hey, I have a haircut and I can only schedule this haircut. Like Smokey's grooming. I have to schedule his grooming like weeks and weeks and weeks in advance and things like that. I can't miss it. So I make sure I make that. But there are moments where I find myself being late, like if we're
You
going to record or
you
something.
saying our recordings aren't important, eh, huh?
Oh, they're important, but they're flexible. So,
Y'all see this?
um, if something is like more flexible, I'll probably end up being late. If it's like of the utmost importance, I'll make myself get there. So I'm gonna go with agree and not strongly agree.
Fair enough.
What's your next one?
Um, you rarely second guess the choices that you have made. I'm gonna slightly disagree because there's d I oh, wait, no, wait. Yeah, slightly disagree because I definitely have moments where I'm like, "Ah, should I have done that?" Usually it's nothing too major, but there's definitely times where I second guess a choice that I made, and I look back like, "Ah, I wish I did this or I should have done this," which I think happens, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna slightly disagree as well. I have those moments where I'm like, could have done this. For the most part, I'm like, if I make a choice, I'm good with it, like I mentioned before.
Yeah,
Um, But I wouldn't say I rarely second guess the choices. So I would say like I
okay,
slightly disagree because there are probably there are definitely some times. Um, depending on the choices.
fair enough.
Uh, okay. Next
And
one.
then After a long and exhausting week, a lively social event is just what you need. Slightly disagree. I'm not gonna say fully disagree because again, if I there's times where I'm like, "Oh my god, this week sucked, but yo, we're going out to do this or we're gonna go whatever." But usually after a long, exhausting week, my social event is my bed and me.
No, no, I think you need to recheck this question. It's not after a long, exhausting day. I mean, we're talking about Friday, the end of the week, right? Your week has
Yeah.
been long and exhausting. What
Yeah.
do you a lively social event Friday night? That doesn't sound like fun or like
That's why I said it sometimes it does, but I do man, maybe it would be slightly agree. I don't know, because sometimes in college, yeah, for sure. It was agree. But now it's kinda like, I just kinda wanna relax at home. You know what I mean?
sure. I think I'm gonna just slightly agree because I do like relaxing at home, but if I'm having a long, exhausting week, I want this weekend to pay off. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to have a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go slightly agree because if someone calls me on Friday and they're like, "Yo, we're going out," I'm not usually turning it down. Like, "Okay."
Right? Yeah.
So, alright,
All right.
fair enough.
We're almost done, guys. 60%. um, you enjoy going to art museums. I'm gonna go slightly disagree. I'll never go to one myself, but if I'm there, I'm gonna find a way to enjoy it. So I'll go slightly
Yeah,
disagree.
I'm slightly disagree because I never found myself like, "Ooh, I wanna go to this art museum." If I did end up there, I'd be like, "Okay, cool." Usually find something to look at, but I'm not really think I'd rather go to, like, an aquarium or something than an art museum.
Yes, yes,
Like,
yes.
see stuff alive and everything.
Um, you often have a hard time understanding others' feelings. I'm gonna go disagree. I'm not gonna go strongly disagree. I don't have a hard time understanding someone's feelings or why they're feeling that way. Um, but like, cause like for me, empathy is like feeling those feelings too.
Mhm.
It's not necessarily I'm feeling those feelings, but I can understand those feelings for sure. But I'm not going strongly disagree because there are moments where like I just can't understand why someone feels a certain way.
Was gonna say the same exact thing, and that's why I'm doing, not
Dis
strongly disagree, but disagree.
Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes someone feels a way and you're like, "I don't get how you're getting this feeling out of, like, this situation." Like, there's no like, to me, I'm like, "That doesn't make any sense." But, you know, fair
yeah.
enough.
All right, what's the next one?
You like to have a to-do list for each day.
I'm gonna go slightly agree. I like to have things like planned.
I like it for the idea of being able to also, like, check like, just be like it feels more like you got more accomplished if you have a to-do list, and you're like, "Ah, look at that, I got this, and done," versus just kinda going throughout the day and doing stuff. It might not feel like you got as much accomplished, so I'd slightly agree with that. Oh, you rarely feel insecure. Yeah, I'm gonna slightly disagree. 'Cause
You
I
rarely feel insecure.
yeah, I'm insecure sometimes.
Yeah, I'll slightly disagree. I have moments of feeling insecure.
Yeah.
Um, like I tend to feel insecure if something happens or if someone has a like a mood and I don't understand why and it's directed at me for some reason. Like I
Mm,
remember one time I told you about this. There's this guy at our old community college that we went to, and I was talking to him in the hallway. We were making friends, like we were having a good time. I was laughing with him. I was like, "Oh, this guy seems really cool."
mhm.
Then one day, I walked in and I saw him studying something. And I said, "Hey," I wasn't going to have a whole conversation with him. I was just going to walk by and I said, "Hey," and he didn't look up. And so I was like, "Hey, hi, remember? Like, how you
Yeah,
doing?"
yeah,
And he looks up and he's like, "Can't you take a hint?" Like he was like complete flip. And I felt
yeah,
really insecure. I was like, wow, I must be really annoying, or like, what did I do? Like I didn't even like now I'm like, he was an asshole. But at the
yeah.
time I was like, I did something wrong. I felt like super insecure. Um
That's rude as hell. Also, like, you can just say,
it
"Hey,
is
sorry,
rude as
just a
hell.
little bit," like, takes 2
Right,
seconds.
exactly. But yeah, there are things that make me feel insecure if I'm, like, confused at something. I tend to probably like, there are times where I think, like, "Is that me? Am I at fault
Is it
here?"
am I the issue? Interesting, okay.
So, slightly slightly
Oh.
disagree, rarely.
Well, I know the answer to this one, if you have the same one. You prefer texting or emailing to calling or meeting in person?
I don't have that one, but I would
Cam would be
just
strongly
strongly
disagree.
disagree. Yeah, I love
I'm
calling. I'm a caller.
strongly agree. I like texting and emailing.
I'm a
What's yours?
huge caller. I love calling. I love
Nice.
talking in person. I hate texting. I hate emailing. It really rubs me the wrong way. I like back and forth. Um,
I like being in person if it's, like, something casual, but, like, if it's just gonna be, like, business conversation or something and I don't it's like it can be resolved over text. Now, granted, some things need to be done over call, understandable, but I do prefer text, email. I'm just how I am.
like I would literally prefer to call Isaiah and be like, "Hey, did you hear that like crazy thing about Will Smith?" And he'd be like, and like ideally, and he'd be like, "Yeah, that was wild." And I'd be like, "Yeah, all right, peace." But like, he would
Did
drive him
that
nuts if I did that.
Oh, gosh. What's
um,
yours?
Mine is you need a tranquil, low key environment to recharge. I'm gonna go disagree. I don't need that. It would be nice to recharge that way, but I could recharge in a social environment too. I'm like a Pikachu with enough electricity. You got me going. Um, so I'm gonna go just disagree with that.
Alright. My next one is you often spend a lot of time trying to understand views that are very different from your own.
I'm gonna
I don't
go.
spend a lot of time like, I mean, if someone has views that are different than me and I am, like, that invested in the conversation, I'll try to go understand it. I'll, like, do whatever I can, but I wouldn't say I often spend time. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna go strongly agree
Okay.
because I find myself watching a lot of political conversations. I find myself watching a lot of like opinions on movies or certain things that are varying different views and stuff like that. I find myself
Mhm.
delving into different spheres and seeing how people feel, and I try to understand certain perspectives.
Mm.
Um, and I do that often, like when I'm like going out, like I'll put a podcast on or something, or a political debate or something like that. I do that
Mm.
relatively often.
Also,
And,
that's also you should try to invest time into understanding other people's point of views, in my opinion. So just to say that,
yeah, so
Cam has the right idea.
I'll go strongly agree because I do find
I went
myself doing
slightly agree.
that. Okay, okay, all right.
Uh,
Next is you often express positive emotions and optimism in social settings.
I don't have that one, so this is all you.
I'm gonna go like agree. Yeah, I try to be positive and try to be optimistic. Sure, yeah.
Okay, okay.
What's yours?
In your social circle, you are often the one who contacts your friends, initiates activities. Disagree. If people don't invite me to do it, then so fucking be it. Sorry, it is what it is. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's definitely right. Um,
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. James Jackson with a $20 smackaroony. Thank you so much, James. It really did mean a lot. You didn't have to do it. We probably would have saw this and pulled this up. But he does send in $20 super chat and says, things I've learned so far. Zay is John Coffey like, emphasizes with others, likes people but doesn't want to be around them, and likes to stimulate himself, leaving that one alone.
Unbelievable.
What reaction made you the most emotional? Wait, hold on, James. Why was mine that I'm rude to women, I don't like thanks, and all this bad stuff, and his is like, he's kind of
You
like
told the
Jesus.
woman that she looked bad. I don't know. I didn't say that.
This was 6 years ago, okay?
So?
Cut me a break, all right? Um,
Should've cut
yeah,
her a
no, it's
break.
like, oh, okay, I'm gonna compare Zay to a character based off of potentially Jesus Christ, and I'm gonna say Cameron is just rude. Um, no, okay, yeah, that's fun. That's
Oh
fine.
my
All right, all right.
gosh.
He says,
What
"What
was it?
reaction made you the most emotional?"
What one made you the most? I'm trying to think. There was one that, like, had you
Band of Brothers
it
finale.
it
I
was
cried
right,
the
yeah.
most. Yeah.
Damn. I don't really get
I know the
too
answer to this
emotional.
for you.
Yeah? I'm
Yeah.
trying to think. What is it?
It's a Patreon exclusive live watch along that we did.
Oh my yeah, what's
The
the
only time you ever cried on a reaction to Dear Zachary.
Yeah, Dear Zachary. Holy shit, I forgot about that. That was a great live watch along. You guys are new to the Patreon, make sure you check that out if you haven't checked it out yet. But yeah, that was one of the far and few times you may ever see me cry, and
Yeah,
that was a that's
Zay
crazy.
dropped some tears at the end, or a tear
Yeah.
or something. He definitely was wet
I
on this
think I had
day.
like 8 Wait a minute. Is wet. Hold on. Oh gosh.
But yeah. All right. Thank you, James, and thank you for the $20. It means a lot. Love seeing you here and the support that you show. It's really nice. Tina says he cried. Yes, he did. He cried
And you'll
during a
never
really
see it.
brutal moment.
I'm
Um,
scrubbing all the evidence.
James says, "Wow, so wet."
No, not no.
Um,
Um,
a dream says he blocked it from his mind. LOL. Yeah, you couldn't remember. John says that was a roller coaster of a reaction. Yeah, that was a wild
yeah.
documentary. All right, what does your next one say, Zay?
If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. I agree. I hate when I'm doing something and I get interrupted and even for no matter what the task is, and it's like my goal is just to get back to being able to do whatever I was doing. Usually it's not something super intensive, but yeah, I agree.
Okay, mine's different. Mine says you have many routines in your daily life that you generally stick to. I'm gonna go agree because I do.
Okay.
There are certain things I take my dog out every day, multiple times. I feed him, try to do that. All that stuff is relatively at the same time.
Mm,
My birds get his dishes done, and I have him out routinely. A lot of things related to the animals, but yeah, I do find routines that I stick to.
fair enough.
Um, you are still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago. I'm gonna go
Mm,
I'm gonna go with agree. I'm not gonna go with strongly agree because it's not like all the mistakes I make, but there are a few things that I've done that I still find myself like regretting or like learning from or kind of like feeling like bad about and like I might have done something that like I thought wasn't right and I feel bad about it and I don't and whenever it comes up again and I feel bad about it again, I don't have a easy time of moving on. I kinda feel like I deserve to feel bad whenever it comes up.
mhm.
So, I wouldn't say that I'm not still bothered by mistakes. I wouldn't say I strongly agree because there are plenty of mistakes I make that I don't care about and things like that, that I'm not bothered by and that I can get over. So I'm gonna go with agree.
Yeah, I'm in the agree boat as well, just because it's not even because it's not like I've had many mistakes where like I think about like God, like I can't believe like I did that. But it's more like I've had enough big ones where I'm like, oh, like, and so that's the type of shit where I think like, how much further ahead could I be right now? But then I usually try to reel myself back and go, look, like things happen for a reason. You're living good right now, so clearly it didn't define you. It wasn't like a defining moment, but there's definitely times where I'm like, dude, you just look back and like, shit, like how'd I do that?
Sure, yeah. Isabel Lager with a 199 super chat. Thank you so much, Isabel. She has nothing to say here, but she does say something a little bit later. She says, "Guys, please watch 12 Angry Men." I believe we have that on the list, right?
We do have that on the list. Yeah, 12 Angry Man.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you.
Um, are you ready for the next one?
Hell yeah. Read it off.
All right. You believe that traditions should be protected and cherished.
Oh, mine's different. So you go you first.
think I think slightly agree. I think traditions are important and they should be cherished and protected, and they're really fun to pass on to your family members. But I'm not going to agree or strongly agree because there are several
Mhm.
traditions that should not be protected and cherished, and that should be moved on from and changed around and things like that. So, but I'm generally for fun traditions and things like that. So I would say slightly agree.
All right, that's fair. And I would agree with that too. I think some traditions are very I think it's cool when some families have traditions, whether it's during holiday season or whatever the case is, because it's a way that they kind of unifies the family, and that's something that they can all look forward to. Mine is you are uncomfortable with ambiguity and strongly prefer simplicity to complexity. I'm I'm gonna I'm gonna slightly disagree. I enjoy simplicity because obviously it's very easy to understand everything. However, I get very invested in certain things that are complex and ambiguous because the pursuing of information I think is interesting, trying to understand something. And I think that keeps me, again, stimulated, kind of keeps my mind going. I must slightly disagree. Although simplicity is nice in certain aspects, I think complexity and all that is very, um, yeah, useful and interesting to pursue.
Okay. Next question. Your emotions control you more than you control them.
Hmm.
I think I'm gonna slightly agree with that because we're
Mhm.
human. Um, Humans generally are controlled by their emotions, like, period. But I do
Mhm.
find myself I'm not gonna agree more than slightly because I do find myself being like, "Okay, I'm being emotional, relax, wait till that calms down and stuff." But, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, if I'm upset, I'm gonna be upset. If I'm happy, I'm gonna be happy. Um, I wouldn't say I have full control over my emotions. I think generally my emotions dictate, how I'm feeling, but I can find myself in the moment being like, "You don't need to be feeling this way," and just kinda, like, relax. Not all the time. So I would say
Yeah.
I slightly agree that my emotions control me more than I control them, but slightly in a very like, human nature way.
I agree with you on that. I think, yeah, I'd be slightly agree because again, you are human. It's very hard to not let your emotions kind of influence your actions in certain moments. However, being able to recenter yourself and be like, okay, back up, 2 steps back. Let's really look at this. And I have that. I believe I have that ability. So I would say slightly agree.
Okay. And we got a 4.99 super sticker from Isabel. Thank you,
Thank
Isabel,
you,
for the
Isabel.
4.99 super sticker. She had nothing to say, just add a sticker, but she does say, "I'm old school growing up in the 80s, but you guys have very good views to older movies, and 12 Women will blow you away." Okay.
Awesome.
Well, thank you. She says in from New York City, Uptown, Washington Heights. Well,
Oh
shout
wow,
out
nice.
to New York City and Uptown, and yeah, all right. Um, okay, next one. You take great care not to embarrass others, even when it is their fault.
So kind of
I'm
off of the last one, like my in the moment, like if I have a moment sometimes, I'm gonna sound very malicious. Like if I get angry at somebody, right? And like say it was like some argument and they were trying to make me look stupid or
uh-huh.
something, in that moment I may be like, nah, now I'm gonna embarrass you because you're wrong and you tried to make me look wrong. And but then I'll feel bad after.
Okay.
I've had a few moments where I'm like, in the moment, I'm like, "Nah, nah," because now you get it, now you get but then after I look back, I'm like, "Dude, that was like, that was unnecessary." Like, you know what I mean? That type of thing. So
Okay.
I'd say I slightly agree. I try not to embarrass people because I know it's like a shitty feeling, but I sometimes I can't help it. Sometimes you have it coming.
So maybe you don't take great care.
I don't take great care. I take care. I take
Sure.
care.
I'm gonna say I agree, not strongly agree,
Mhm.
because I will um not intentionally try to embarrass somebody, even if I think it's their fault. And there are even times where I will be like, "Look, maybe it's this, or I can see why you thought that way." Like, try to
Mhm.
really justify why they come up with a certain way. But I'm not strongly agreeing because there are times where I'm like, "Hey, yo, what the fuck? You did this. You messed up. This is your fault." And
Yeah.
I don't care if they're embarrassed. But I think generally I do try to be like I try to avoid the awkwardness for even myself, by not like
Oh,
embarrassing somebody. So I'm just like,
painful. It's
yeah, so I'm just
painful.
like, "Oh, well, no, like, they probably said this because of this," and stuff like that. Like, I do try to take great care not to embarrass others, especially because I don't wanna be dealing with that secondhand embarrassment type of situation, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
go with agree.
that's fair.
Alright, next.
Alright, 20% left, chat. You tend to make decisions based more on present impulses than careful thought. I'm gonna slightly agree. It really depends. It depends, like, how major of a decision it's really gonna be. You know, if I'm deciding if do I want Wendy's or do I wanna go get a salad? I mean, I'm probably gonna be like, "Oh, Wendy's," but if it's like, what car am I gonna get or, what I'm saying, that's gonna or where am I gonna live or am I buying a house? Like, that type of stuff's gonna be more thought out, but I'll say slightly agree.
I'm gonna go slightly disagree. There's a lot of things I do off of impulse. I like to play blackjack, I like to do things like that. I'm not advocating that. I don't do it
Mm,
often. But when I do, I have a good fun time with it. And it's very impulse based. I mean, obviously, when you're playing, you have to have careful thought, make sure you're making the right moves and stuff. But there are other things I do based off of impulses as well. Like you said, if I want to go to a fast food place, if I want to do this, but I think generally, most of my decisions require some level of thought into them. As like,
yeah.
I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. So, and you can always change your answer. By the way, they let you change it.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, just so you know. Um, so I'm gonna go slightly disagree.
Okay.
Um, because I think generally I put a little bit of thought more than impulses. But I do have impulse moments, that's for sure.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right, next one. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you.
Uh, strongly disagree. I don't think I've ever I no, I'm gonna disagree, but, like, I don't really ever think about that, like, "Oh, how long till I fuck up?"
Um, Someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. For this specific question, I'm gonna say I disagree. Um, Sometimes I'm like, I wonder, like, oh, what they think of me now or something. So I'm not gonna like strongly
Yeah.
disagree. But if the question was when you think highly of someone,
Mm.
you wonder how long it will take for them to be. That's a different question. That
That's a totally
I
different question, yeah.
right. So under this question, I'm just gonna go with disagree.
Yeah, I think yeah.
You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. I'm gonna go agree. Yeah, I
I'm
don't like to be in
agreeing,
teams. We
and
we talked about that.
my job kinda lets me do that, so that's why I enjoy it.
Okay. Next one. You believe that pondering abstract philosophical questions is a waste of time. Strongly disagree. I
Yeah.
love doing it. It's very thought
Yeah.
stimulating and provoking and can affect your perspective on the world and how you do things, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that, and in the sense of strongly disagreeing.
Okay. You feel more drawn to busy, bustling atmospheres than to quiet, intimate places.
I don't have that one, but I would be busy bustling for sure, I probably agree. I do
What do you consider nature with like birds and stuff? Is that busy and bustling or is that quiet and intimate?
like nature with birds and stuff, I think if it's just like wildlife and stuff, I would consider that more like quiet, you know what I'm saying? Like busy bustling, I'm thinking like, maybe not as crazy as New York City, but you know what I'm saying? Like people, a lot of energy, stuff
I'm
going
gonna go
on.
slightly disagree because I like
Okay.
stuff happening. I don't want it to be too quiet, but I prefer more like the birds outside and like, maybe like some squirrels in the tree and walking my dog and stuff. I like there to be stimulation, but I don't like it like oh no, 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 like a bunch of stuff happening.
Yeah. It's also dependent on what I'm doing. If I'm reading like a book or something, or like I wanna just relax, listen to
Sure.
music, I definitely prefer to be somewhere calm, but
Yeah.
mine was you enjoy being the center of attention.
Well, you have a
Yeah.
YouTube channel
I
with
know, right? I love now look
23,000 people watching.
nah, I hate being the center of attention. I enjoy here's the thing is like at like let's say there was like an event or something going on, like I'm not the person to try to become the center of attention. Like I need everyone to pay attention to me. I enjoy having the attention. I guess, yeah, so I guess I would agree because I enjoy being the center of attention, but not strongly agree because I feel like if you strongly like I'm not like, oh, I need to be, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I don't like being the center of attention. Sometimes I prefer
Maybe
like
slightly agree.
I
That's up to you. Whatever you feel is
I'll give it an agree. I'll give it an
okay.
agree. I do enough dude, I Twitch, YouTube, I mean, I have enough
Yeah, that's
things going
true,
on where
yeah.
I'm like and the center of attention, half the center of attention.
My next
Right?
one is you often have an intuitive sense of how someone is truly feeling. I'm gonna
I do
go
not have that
like
one.
I'm either gonna go strongly disagree or just disagree because I can't fucking tell what people are feeling sometimes. I just don't know. I'm like, you gotta tell me. You gotta tell me how you're feeling. But I'm
Ugh,
not horrible. Like there are times, so I'm gonna go with disagree instead of strongly disagree because there are some times where I have like the intuition. I'm like, yeah, okay, I know what they're feeling. But I
okay.
feel like most of the time I'm like, can you just tell me what's going on? Can you tell
Yeah,
me,
what?
how you're
Please?
feeling real quick, and then I can like go from there.
Mine
What
is to you, maintaining relationships is more important than winning arguments, and I'm gonna agree. Honestly, I do the amount of arguments I've given up on with people where I'm just like, I don't even it's just not even worth my time and effort, and I like you, and I wanna be friends with you, not being like I'm conceding to it, but it's like, I'm not gonna create something out of this BS, like, it's not worth it to me a lot of times. I'm
Sure,
very non-confrontational. I hate arguing.
sure. Okay.
So,
Um, all right, 90%. We're almost there,
last
everyone.
5.
Um, You often
6.
feel overwhelmed. I'm gonna go slightly agree. I do often feel overwhelmed. Not a bunch, but I tend to find that I gotta try to change my way of thinking a little bit because I do find
Mhm,
myself overwhelming myself on things that aren't really that overwhelming. Like,
mhm.
I'll be like, I gotta do this today, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and I'm like, "That's a lot of stuff that I gotta do." But when I go through my day and I'm doing them, I'm like, "This really isn't that much stuff. It's not even that much effort to do. It's just the idea of doing them that comes really overwhelming." So I do feel like I overwhelm myself pretty often, not to the point where I can't do it. I just where I'm like, oh, like, this sounds like a bunch of stuff, but even though it's not, so I'm gonna go
Yeah.
with slightly agree.
I I slightly agree, but it's only because I overwhelm myself because there's a lot of stuff that I wanna do. There's so many things that I wanna do, and it's like, "Okay, but where do I start?" And that's when I start to feel overwhelmed because it's like, there's only so much time in a day, well, and working full time and trying to go to the gym, doing all this other stuff, it's like, holy it feels like you can never get it all done. But again, realistically, there's no way you can ever get it all done, but yeah, I'd slightly agree.
Okay. What's the next one?
Before making decisions, especially important ones, you carefully weigh all the options. Agree. Yeah. If it's an important strongly agree. If it's an important decision, I'm weighing every option out. I have to. I think that'd be weird not to.
Yeah, I'm strongly agreeing to that too.
Yeah. That's like, how do you not? How do you not weigh all the options?
Right. Um, yeah, strongly
All
agree.
right. You prefer to look for patterns and connections that go beyond the obvious. Ooh. You prefer to look for connections and patterns that go beyond the obvious. I mean,
I'll tell you what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say slightly agree because I do
yeah.
like to look into things more and see if there's anything that I notice and potentially there's something more going on than the obvious. But I find if you do that too much, you enter the realm of like conspiracy theories and things like
Mm.
that. And I don't wouldn't say I prefer to that much, but I do think that sometimes it is important to kind of reach beyond what is right in front of you. So I'm gonna go slightly agree.
I agree with that. I think it's fun when you do see a pattern or something that's below like the surface level, like, oh, like or connection. But I agree that yeah, if you do it too much, it's like you're kind of you're just digging for nothing. And it's like, I can accept if there's just a basic pattern or connection to something. However, I do find it more interesting when there is a deeper level connection or something that you can find. So I'd roll, yeah, slightly agree on that.
All right. And we got a $10 smackaroonie from the red what is it? What are they called?
A red what?
Cardinal. Cardinal.
A card.
Um
You're the bird guy.
Kay says, "This is so enjoyable. Thank you for making my day." Well, we're glad you
Thank you.
enjoy. It really does
Having a
mean so much
blast.
that you did $10. You didn't even need to do $10 to say that. But yeah, I'm having a good time. Again, this is for everybody to kind of get to know us a little bit more. Maybe when you go watch our reactions now, you kind of see us in a new light. Certain things like that, which is I thought it would be, we thought this would be a fun idea to kind of do, and we're glad you're enjoying it. That was our hope. Um, and glad we made your day. Thank you so much. All right. 3 more to go.
All right. You are willing to give up a good opportunity if you believe someone else needs it more.
I'm gonna go disagree. I'm sorry. Um, um, I'm not strongly disagreeing because there are
No.
things that I've done before. I had a Green Arrow comic book signed by the artist. It was like one of the first ones ever. It was the first
Yeah.
Green Arrow appearance, and I was talking to this guy, and he just talked about how much he loved comic books, and it
Mhm.
felt in my heart, I wanna give this to him. So I gave it to him. I could have
Wow.
just kept it, but I gave it to him. I didn't ask for anything in return. Um, but I don't do that often. So I'm not gonna go strongly disagree because there are
Yeah.
moments where I am willing to give up a good opportunity. Um, but for the most part, I prioritize myself. So I'm gonna go disagree.
Yeah, I'm gonna go slightly disagree. I as much as I would like to do it more, I mean, it really depends on the situation and, like, God, it depends on the opportunity. Like, what's the opportunity? Like, you're telling me, I'm gonna get, my dream job once in a lifetime. It's like, I'm probably gonna take it, right? But if it's
Right.
something super like, I'm not saying the Green Arrow comic is anything like trivial or anything, but that's something where you'd be like, you know what, I could
Yeah,
give someone this because it's gonna make their day. So I
right.
mean, I'll slightly disagree, but so I'm a little bit selfish, man. Listen, I can't give it all up. I'm sorry.
Um, you
Ooh,
struggle with deadlines. I'm gonna go agree. I do. That's that.
I'll slightly agree. I don't typically do.
Actually, no, I'm gonna go with I slightly agree too because, um,
I think you're pretty good with
no,
deadlines.
no,
You struggle with deadlines? I don't think you really
no,
struggle with
I
deadlines.
procrastinate, but I always get things done. I'm gonna go
It
slightly disagree. I'm not gonna go fully disagree because there are times where I need to move a deadline or something like that if,
yeah.
if it's flexible enough. But if it's not flexible enough, I do find myself making sure everything is done by that point in time,
Mhm.
relatively speaking. So I'm gonna go slightly disagree.
That's fair. Yeah, I would slightly agree. I not often that I have to push out deadlines, but there's times where I'm like, like, yeah, I need more time. And it's because I procrastinate and then I'm bad, wait until last minute. So then it's like I have to push the deadline. So I gave it a slightly agree.
All right. Last question. You feel confident that things will work out for you. I'm
Strongly
gonna go, huh?
strongly agree.
I'm gonna go agree, because 'cause I'm
Yeah.
not someone who's like, "Oh, yeah, everything's gonna be great. I'm gonna be amazing." I am treading carefully through life. I think there are things that could go wrong, and I'm keeping that in mind. I think generally things are gonna work out. So I'm gonna go with agree.
I'll take the strongly agree. I'll rock with it. I'm him.
You're
So you know
sending
what?
it. You're sending it.
Sending it. Now, there's times where you wonder, you got a question, but I feel like a lot of my life I've gone through, and I think I've stressed so much that things weren't going to work out for me, and then they end up working out. Now, I'm not saying I'm not going to get drafted somehow into the NBA and become like the number one Twitch streamer or the number one YouTube, but I think that life itself, I'll be able to live comfortably. So, I strongly agree that I think things will work out for me. Not saying it's going to be to the top 1% lifestyle, but a comfortable living one.
Okay. Alright, and it says we can put our gender, which is optional, and it'll determine your avatar on the results screen. I mean, I put male, but other than that,
Yeah, I'll do that.
it's ready.
You ready to see
Are you
results?
ready? See results. Let's see what this has to say about us. It's a pretty extensive questionnaire.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
it.
interesting. So what is your personality type? We'll start with that.
Architect, and it
I'm
says
an architect.
INTJ/T. I don't
Me
know what that
too.
means. Hey, architects are imaginative,
Hey.
strategic thinkers with a plan for everything. Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, so we're both architects and we both have the same personality type, INTJT. That might be why we get along so well. Um,
Alright.
architects are imaginative and strategic, and we're both Toy Story 4, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
weird.
um, architects are imaginative thinkers, or architects are imaginative and strategic thinkers, with a plan for everything. Okay,
Alright.
what else do
Okay.
they have to say?
What's your energy?
Energy. Oh, this is different. Okay, so this might be different here. This is fun. This is great. All right, but before we get into this, Isabel with a 9.99 wickety wockety woogity says, "Hey guys, 12 Angry Men is a perfect example of what you're discussing to the third power. You weren't wrong with that airplane scene. You were right. It was meant that way, coming from a diverse era." Not exactly sure what we're talking about here, but you might be talking about um the airplane reaction we did. And there might be something. It might have been about uh the Ebonics thing or something like that, or the Jive Talk or something.
Uh, oh, okay, I
Um,
see what you're saying.
but other than that, I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about. But it is good to know that the 12 Angry Men is a perfect example of what we're discussing to the third power. It makes me really interested to check it out. So thank you, Isabel.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for the 9.99. Stacey says, "Wait, you're both INTJ?" Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I guess
He says,
so.
"That's crazy." John says he got INTJ
Let's
too.
go.
He did it when he started. Um, nice. All right. You ready for
So, what's
energy?
your energy?
I'm 49% extroverted and
Wow.
51% introverted.
I'm 29% extroverted, 71% introverted. Yeah,
What? I think
that's
mine makes so
crazy.
much sense too, because like, I am 51% introverted. Like at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I like to be alone, but I do have a lot of like outgoing. Like I was a server, like sales and stuff like that. Extroverted. So it
All
says
right.
introverted individuals tend to prefer fewer yet deep and meaningful social interactions. Often feel drawn to calmer environments. That's what yours says too.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
thing.
because we're both introverts, but like I'm like barely an introvert, and you're like
I am.
majority an introvert.
I'm
Okay,
an introvert.
that's fun.
Oh, your mind. What's your
Oh, this
mind?
is so cool. Um, I am actually you go first on this one.
I'm 70% intuitive and 30% observant.
Okay. I'm 63% intuitive
Okay.
and 37% observant.
Interesting. Yours draw more towards the middle
Yeah. And
ish.
so intuitive individuals are very imaginative, open-minded, and curious. They value originality and focus on hidden meanings and distant possibilities.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
And so you're more
Makes sense.
intuitive than I am, but I'm a little more observant than you.
All right.
We got another $10 smackaroni from James. Thank you so much, James. James says, things I've learned so far. I strongly agree that you guys are both great. Yes, you too, Cam. Aw. And I am thankful for your channel. Thank you. Have a stellar night and do more Kathy Bates movies. Okay. All right. We'll do more Kathy Bates movies. Fried green tomatoes is on the list. Um,
Yes.
but thank you for being so kind.
Thank
That
you,
really does
James.
mean a lot. And we're glad you're thankful for the channel. Say anything you wanna say?
I know I saw while you were talking over. No, I'm just kidding. Thank
Oh,
you
oh,
again,
no.
James. We appreciate you so much. And again, you guys do not have to donate. We do appreciate them, obviously, but it's unnecessary. We appreciate everybody even just stopping by and hanging out with us. This is fun.
Alright, yeah, this is fun. Thank you, James. Um, alright, let's
It's your
see.
nature. Your nature.
Nature is next.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go
What?
first, I guess, on this one.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll go back and forth.
I'm 66% thinking, 34% feeling.
I'm 55% thinking, 45% feeling. So,
Wow,
okay.
you're more of a
All right.
feeler than I am.
Yeah.
Um, thinking individuals focus on objectivity and rationality, often dismissing emotions in favor of logic. They tend to see effectiveness as more important than social harmony. And Stan says, "Thank you is not enough." No,
Oh,
no, but really, James,
wait.
thank you. It does mean a lot. I mean, the support is unbelievable.
You don't understand what it means to we got to monologue this now because see you started this now because thank yous you said thank yous are empty. You agree
Yeah.
that thank yous are empty.
I feel the thank yous I get are empty. I should be more clear.
Oh, here we
Um,
go.
okay. Yeah, wow. So I'm surprised by this. I thought I was gonna be more feeling, but perhaps they can see through your outer shell and they can see your soft inside. And they know I have a little soft shell. My
You don't
inside might be
work
hard.
on my insides.
Um, okay. Wow, that's interesting.
Tactics is next. This
Oh
is gonna be
gosh.
interesting.
Yeah, this
I'm
is go
I'm
for it.
63% judging, 37% prospecting.
I'm 60/40 judging.
Really?
So,
Okay.
yeah, so we're both really close there.
Okay.
Um, judging individuals are decisive, thorough, and highly organized. They value clarity, predictability, and closure, preferring structure and planning to spontaneity.
Yeah.
Um,
Used to stress
yeah.
me out sometimes, which is weird because, like, back in high school, I feel like you were spontaneity would
Well,
happen.
yeah, people change. I was probably a lot
Yeah.
more extroverted in high school than I
For
am now.
instance, when going to New York City for a slice of pizza at midnight,
Yeah.
I was panicking. Like, "What?" Like, "What do you mean you're going to New York City at 12 AM?"
Yeah, but this
Oh.
one might be, like, one of the closest ones we're on right here. It's the
Oh,
judging and
yeah.
prospecting at this point.
Yeah.
Um, it means I've improved.
Good
Um,
job.
okay, next, identity.
What's yours?
Interesting.
What's yours?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I am 37% assertive, and I am
Mm.
63% turbulent.
I'm 42% assertive and 58% turbulent. Okay, so we're pretty close to
Wow.
these. Okay.
Okay, turbulent individuals are self-conscious and sensitive to stress. They feel a sense of urgency in their emotions and tend to be success-driven, perfectionist, and eager to improve. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
definitely 63% that. Um, all right. Next one. Oh, one more thing. Before we move on to your profile, would you like an email copy of your results? Nah, I'm okay.
I'll take it. I'll frame it on my wall.
Architect, personality, INTJ/A, and then /INTG/T.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Or no, it's saying what the difference is.
Oh, it's like a whole thing. It's like a whole this
Yeah.
is all very long.
But I think ours, it's all about INTJs, right?
Yeah. There's strength,
Okay.
and then there's like you can if you go to strengths and oh wow, there's like strengths, weaknesses, romantic relate. Oh my god, they like really career paths? Oh wait. I want to see what career paths is. I thought maybe it would suggest jobs, but I don't think it is.
Well, you want to hear about some architects, some famous architects?
Yeah.
Friedrich Nietzsche,
Oh,
Michelle Obama,
nice.
Elon Musk,
Okay.
Christopher Nolan,
Really?
Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Okay.
Colin Powell, Samantha Power,
Uh-huh.
Walter White,
What?
um, Peter Baelish, Littlefinger, Tywin
Ah,
Lannister,
hold on. We're getting related to some interesting characters now.
Yennefer of Vengerberg,
All right.
Gandalf the Grey,
Ah,
Professor Moriarty,
I don't know who that is.
Katniss Everdeen,
Okay.
Seven of Nine, and Jay Gatsby.
Okay. I've never seen The Great Gatsby. Interesting. Peter Baelish or like Littlefinger, Tywin Lannister, and Heisenberg all at the same time? How is that possible?
Wow, this is this is actually like on point here. The strength and weaknesses are insanely accurate.
Oh, dude, yeah. Like I'm gonna have
Especially
to
the
actually read
weaknesses.
this.
So the strengths, for anybody wondering, for INTJs, which is us architects, our strengths are our rationale, we're informed, we're independent, we're determined, we're curious, and we're original. But here's our weaknesses, and this is so fucking true: arrogant, dismissive of emotions,
Yeah.
overly critical, combative, and socially clueless. That is 100%
Cam and I
me.
go to war sometimes out of nowhere.
Yeah, we're both very arrogant sometimes. We're very dismissive of emotion sometimes. We're both overly critical.
Mhm.
We're both, which makes us good reactors. We're both combative, and we're both socially clueless. I'm probably a little more socially clueless than Zay, but yeah.
Socially clueless. I'm freaking socially. I'm him. I'm not even
Romantic
arrogant.
relationships.
I'm not even arrogant. Wait.
Friendships.
An intellectual match is under friendships. A unique friendship. Oh wait, when sensitive or emotional situations arise, they may feel other depths. Oh wait, hold on. Just said son. Even with their closest friends, they may struggle to offer emotional comfort or receive it. Uh, an ideal friendship is low maintenance, low drama, and based on true enjoyment of each other's company rather than obligation. That's
That is so
weird. That's so
true.
weird. That's so weird. What the hell? That's so weird. Oh my god.
This is so unbelievably true.
Their
Few things are
sarcasm
more.
and witty banter may not be for everyone, especially for people who struggle to read between the lines. So they're saying like we prefer people that have like witty banter, well,
Yeah, that's us.
and us
It says
constantly.
few things are more exhilarating to INTJ personalities than the spark that they feel when they're immersed in conversation with someone who really gets them. That's so true.
Oh, oh my god, that's insane.
Um, wow.
Wow, for parenting. As parents, INTJs often approach the role with a sense of seriousness and commitment. They see themselves not as just as caregivers, but also as invaluable guides responsible for helping shape their child's intellect, enforcing discipline, and stimulating their natural curiosity, which is like everything I would value in being I would value in being a parent of a child and trying to that's bro, this is freaking me out a little bit. I don't
Yeah,
know.
this is like unbelievably accurate. Um,
Oh, this is you. Career paths. The personality type are rarely satisfied by work that's too easy. They want a career that fires their curiosity and leverages their intellect. allowing them to
Yes.
expand their prowess as they tackle meaningful challenges and problems.
This is you. Even in entry-level jobs, INTJs may chafe at or chaff, like, at anyone who tries to limit their freedom. That is 100% you. Even if you're at the bottom of the totem pole, you're like, "Don't tell
I
me what to
like,
fucking
don't
do."
dude, I do it at my job now. I'll be like, "They'll be like, you need to do that." No. Be like,
Uh,
"Or what?" Oh, that's crazy.
yeah.
This is nuts.
Conclusion. What does the conclusion say? Armed with powerful intellects and strategic minds, people with the INTJ personality type can outmaneuver obstacles that seem unbeatable to most. But these strengths, when misunderstood, can turn into weaknesses and keep them from reaching their full potential. Those misunderstandings end here. What you have read so far is just an introduction. We have a great deal more to tell you about the INTJ personality type. In
Dude,
reading through this personality profile, you probably hit a tipping
no,
point.
that's
You
weird.
went from that trademark INTJ. In reading through this
Yeah, bro.
personality profile,
Yeah.
you probably hit a tipping point. You went from that trademark INTJ skepticism to, huh? To wait, what? You might even be a little uncomfortable because you're not used to being understood even by the people closest to you. And we are
Fucking
currently
weird.
uncomfortable because we are being understood.
I'm even more uncomfortable that they just said it, you're probably uncomfortable. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That's sick. That was dope.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow, wow, wow.
That was awesome. Wow.
That
Okay. Well,
really cool.
it's so cool though that we're the same. You
Yeah,
know,
it's
even though we
so
had like
insane.
different answers, like obviously we had different like perspectives on things, like because there's 16 different personality types, and
Mhm.
how we're like such great friends and we're the same personality type. That's actually mind blowing because I know this test doesn't give you the same thing. I don't know about the Toy Story test, but I know this
Toy
one.
Story. We're 2 for 2, though, that's crazy.
So that's
Oh
really
my
cool.
god.
That's interesting how that all works out.
That's
But hey,
freaky.
listen, it's getting late.
Yeah.
That test took longer than I thought, but we did do two. And we did a Q&A. We answered people's questions and had a fun time. I had a blast, and hope everyone here got to know us better.
Yeah.
Hope you all had a great time. And thank you guys so much for being here. Hope you guys had fun on your personality test if you took it along with us.
Mhm.
And look, thanks for being here. We'll see you guys on the next one. And
And
peace.
peace.
Architects are the best people.